Let's roll. The Twisted Tuesday has begun. The late night anger management class, the pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between from Costa Rica to California, Montreal, Minnesota. Let's do this thing. We got a ton of stuff to get to on the program this evening. We've got NBA basketball, the Raptors and the Rockets are playing as we speak. Raptors trying to cash a ticket, a 6.5 point underdogs on the money line. Currently up 103-92. Houston's chipping away to what was a pretty big lead earlier. Here comes Harden. Here comes Harden. We've got the Raptors plus the points. We've got the over in this basketball game. Unfortunately, we had a small piece of Michigan State because I don't remember not to do what I always say to do, and that's not bet on teams that I motherfucking hate. Hate's a strong word, so let's use I really don't like, or let's say dislike. Loathe. Yeah, I don't know. Not a fan of either team, man. Should have just bet the fucking over that basketball game. But nevertheless, I went real small on Michigan State because I don't like them and I don't like losing money on teams I don't like. It's something that after all these years I've accepted. I've got to start leaving some games on the table. But I went small. We went heavier on the late night game in the Champions Classic. We've got the Kansas Jayhawks. And we've got the over in this basketball game. So we'll track this game throughout the evening. Donnie Rightside going to join us in a couple of moments. We'll talk sports with Donnie. We'll talk NFL football. We welcome everybody into the chat right now. JP, what's up? We got a little greedy last night in that Nevada game, man. Fuck, they got to 169. That last bet we made was 170.5. That was bad gambling. We played that marvelously last night up until that point. What's up, Truth? Grayson Allen drops 37. Duke's a scary team, man. Duke is a scary team. Like I just tweeted out earlier, in the past, Duke was really just sort of a bunch of, white guys and country club brothers. Like, let's be real. Like, Duke always, they never really had any street guys. They never had any street cred. They had Grant Hill. Like, before this, Elton Brand used to be like the coolest dude that ever went there. Kyrie Irving went there, played like fucking 6 games or something, got hurt, and then went to the NBA. But Duke are scarier now because there used to be, Coach K used to look for a specific player that would want to stay for years, and he'd get that goofy-ass fucking white guy. Over the years, the Hurleys, Danny Ferry, Leitner, the Plumleys. The Duke's always been fucking white guys, essentially. Let's just call it out for what it is. I'll say what others don't. Duke's always been a bunch of fucking dumbass white dudes with a couple of country club soft brothers on the team. Now Duke isn't that. Duke's getting all the best one-and-dones because these kids that grow up now, they don't know that Duke is a fuckface fucking school that only dipshit fucking yuppies go to. They don't know that. Coach K, whatever. Coach K's adapted. I find it curious that a supposed higher institutional learning like Duke is letting players stay for 1 year, but whatever. Coach K, he gets a pass. Yeah, you know what? Truth, exactly. I could say, you know what? And the truth, I know the truth is Jamaican, actually, I believe. So let's just come out and say it. That's exactly it. I was saying country club brothers. I meant to say, they always sort of had the brothers that you're not really sure if they're white. You know what I mean? You're like, and speaking of which, I know this is kind of awkward, but once again, I'm the only one that can get away with this. So didn't you always sort of think that Aaron Judge was sort of black? Like, it was sort of like Derek Jeter. Like, Derek Jeter, like, you looked at him and you're like, I don't know. It's like the episode of Seinfeld when she doesn't know what to do and she's dating. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. He could be. Fuck. He might be black. I don't know. He looks kind of white, too. I don't know. Aaron Judge always, it was the same thing with Judge with Jeter with me. Like, am I wrong in this? Like, does Aaron Judge look completely white to you? What a way to start the show here. But does Aaron Judge look completely white? No, but I saw a picture of Aaron Judge with his parents. They were both white. I was like, wow. I was like, I don't know. I never really, I don't care. I'm just stating it threw me for a loop. Is Aaron Judge not Puerto Rican? Anyways, let's change the subject before it gets ugly here, all right? Let's just change the subject. I'm just stating Duke used to only have white guys. Or HCC, oh, he's adopted. All right, so that confuses me even more now then. What up, Jet Ann in Los Angeles? My boy Jet Ann lives in LA. All right, Judge is adopted. Let's just change the subject, all right? Let's just change the fucking subject. My bad. I kicked myself out of the chat. I kicked myself out of the chat. You're gone. You're gone, Morency. Yeah, what a way to start the show. Fuck. We're discussing what color is an athlete. What up, Cody AV? Yeah, let's see how it goes. So far, you know what? It's too early. I've had too many bad things happen, Cody AV. And we'll get to the Eastern Washington game. You guys, we're building up, guys. This is what we call an intro in the business. I got to boot myself off the chat now, Trotter. I swear to God, if I saw someone in chat right away out of the gate talking about what color different athletes are, I'd be like, shut the fuck up. I'd be like, this isn't going to end well. Just shut up. Fuck. Only I get to do it. Speaking of which, have you seen how fucking white Sammy Sosa is? Holy shit. Like, Sammy Sosa could be in the witness protection program. Like, you could walk past down Sammy Sosa on the street. There's no way in fucking hell you would know that that's Sammy Sosa. No, I'm dead serious. I've been drinking water. I bought some carrots earlier today. I'm eating cashews, grapes, drinking water. I'm all in. There's no turning back. I'm all in. And in fact, I even becoming a fucking candy-ass pussy. I ate some barbecue chicken today, and I was thinking, I don't know if this skin's good for me. But I ate the skin. Now, you know what I did? I'm taking baby steps, guys. I'm taking baby steps. I bought like the little baby carrot sticks, like the cold ones. I don't like cooked carrots, all right? I don't like vegetables. I've never eaten vegetables in my life. I'm 47. I've got a problem. Like all the years of like bad dieting and shit and stress and everything's caught up to me. I've taken it to heart for real because I've been in severe pain and shit. I will admit I ate the skin on the chicken. I'm not, come on. I did drink 1 can of Coke with the meal, but I've been pounding back water. I'm pounding back fiber pills. I'm fucking eating grapes. I've been eating a lot of rice, fuck. I haven't eaten French fries, pizza, chicken wings. I fucking threw out potato chips. I haven't eaten cookies. That fucking Oreo ice cream that I have is sitting there. I didn't touch it. I'm out. I'm out. I'm a 100% fucking nut, health nut now. And you know what, Ace Farmer? I do feel I have a little bit more energy. Listen, I'm not, I haven't really even gone real health. I'm just not eating the crap that I've been eating. And I got to be honest with you, I do have more energy suddenly. That fucking grease, man, brings you down, man. I do have more energy. I'm less tired already. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Settle down, Jacob Robs. I didn't say no. The greens are good for you. I got no problem with the greens. Pussy's the next step, Vitalist. Yeah, I have to change my life there, Ash. And, like I said, there's been a couple of times where I've been like, all right, man, I feel like, let me get a pizza and stuff. But I realized I'm like, no, man, I can't go on like this. The lifestyle that I lead, I'm already working 18-hour days, guys, I'm already pushing myself to the brink. I have to start eating healthier and stuff. All right, so we got a lot going on here this evening. You guys are asking what my T-shirt is here this evening. This is my band. Homicide. This motherfucker, you see right here? He'll chop your head off. That's what he'll do. He'll chop your fucking head off. We're coming for the bookie. We're coming for the book. All right, let's bring in a man that's been crushing the book as of late. The one, the only. Donnie Rightside steps up and in on the Twisted Tuesday. What's going on, Donnie?
Yo, enjoying myself, Gabe. Crushing the book. Otherwise, tonight, the book crushing me with my play of the night on the closing line, Gabe, on the Ohio Bobcats. Minus 14 tonight. So,
you know what? I was happy with the line move. I was on Akron, and I got burnt last week. I was on Toledo. Mm-hmm. So I lost last week betting against the Ohio Bobcats, but I just thought it was too ambitious. And, I thought the double digits was too much to begin with, Donnie. And then going up to 14, I get it with the quarterback situation. But nevertheless, Akron desperate for that 6th win, man, trying to punch their ticket to go bowling. And dude, the MAC is a week-to-week league, Donnie.
Yeah, no, what's interesting about this, too? Forget about going bowling, Gabe. They're going to go to the actual MAC title game now. Akron.
Yep. It's amazing, isn't it?
And they deserve it. They do. All you're saying, like, oh, my God, like last week, you're right. Like, you really throw it off and saying, like, Toledo got manhandled by Ohio out there. But all along that underlying factor, which I even brought up earlier, is like, I just need Rourke to make a couple plays in the passing game because he can run it. Ohio can run it. And he's been so poor tonight passing the football. And again, this backup quarterback who filled in, who had a spot start last week, gets the week of practice under his belt. He's better than Woodson is or has looked all year long. I'm impressed by this Akron team. They're going. They're going to win. They have Kent State next week. They're going to win that football game as well. They're going to head into the MAC title game. And Toledo's got to be throwing a party tonight, Gabe, saying, good, we don't get Ohio? Oh, boy, we got a shot now.
I got to tell you what, Donnie, you shouldn't. You can't trust Ohio and Rourke. He's Canadian. You can't trust the fucking Canadian quarterback. Come on, Donnie. It's like, it's like Babano's playing QB or me or something. I'm just kidding. What's funny, actually? This last week, I remember I was watching a game, and what's the guy's name? Quinn, what's Kenisic? I always fuck his last name up. What, the sideline reporter?
Yes, I do know what you're talking about, yes.
Quinn Kenisic or whatever his name is.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. You know the dude. Yeah. Dr. Quinn, whatever, fucker. And he always tell you a big know-it-all. So they talk, he's like, I want to talk about the quarterback, Thorpe here. He's like, very interesting route that he take to play football. He's from Oakville, Ontario. He goes, they don't play football up there. They play hockey and lacrosse. And I'm thinking, this fucking fuck. Like, Mike Vanderjack's from there. Guy played in the NFL. Like, Oakville, Donnie's like a rich fucking suburb, like with like a big-time athletic program, like Ben Johnson, the sprinter, the cheater dude. He's from there. Yep. Like, he's from Jamaica, but originally, I'm just standing like Oakville. It was funny. This guy said this. So he said, oh, they play lacrosse. Lacrosse is Canada's national sport, but that's a stretch. You know what I mean? It really is. But so he's like, oh, they don't play football in Oakville. And I swear to God, Donnie, I'm watching college football all day Saturday. And like 13 times through the day, they're like, yeah, this guy's from Oakville, Ontario. This guy from half the fucking MAC is from Oakville, Ontario. Fuck. Like the MAC.
That's where they got to stretch it out, though, man. You got to find that talent somewhere in that little Rust Belt region. But he can really run it, and they can run. But man, he's just I don't even want to say underrated. I mean, he can't really throw the ball that well to begin with on the season, but he's been awful. I'm talking about Gabe, where like me and you were having a catch in like the park, and you know how like your brother comes along and just says, "Let me try to intercept this ball," and you just throw it right to him. Like, come on, man.
You know what? I'm doing pretty well tonight. I jumped in on, I thought the number was way too low with Central Michigan's total set at 45 against Kent State. Punched that ticket. We're riding the Zips right now, plus 14. We jumped in on the Zips at halftime. They were up 30-24. They were plus 215 still, Donnie. And you know what? I grabbed it, and normally the book fades me. Normally, anytime I do something, the book spits on me and goes the other way. Tonight, I grabbed the 215 and I tweeted it, and a second later it was plus 170. It's one of these deals where I'm like, man, they're up by 6. They're looking pretty good. Plus 215 on their home field. I got to take my chance on that.
Yep. No, I agree with you. I mean, I'm just stunned watching these football games. I don't know if I'm more stunned about Ohio getting rocked or the fact that Kent State, Gabe, has 23 points. I don't know which one is actually more confusing to me right now.
It's the MAC, baby. That's the beautiful thing about the MAC. For the record, Kansas off to a nice start here, 20-11 on my stream. We need some points, though. We've got the over as well. Make it 20-13. So let's talk some NFL football, Donnie.
Yeah, let's do it.
Your passion for the NFL is unparalleled to anybody else. And I tell you, 2017 has hardly been a memorable year. It's been a fun year if you're a Philadelphia Eagle fan, obviously, but it's hardly been a memorable year. But with that being stated, like last Saturday, college football, that was by far the best Saturday. We had 4 big games. It was like, all right, this is why we played a fucking game. This is what the season is about. I think we sort of have our first week in the NFL this week where we can say, you know what? I think we got some good games on the board this week that I look forward to watching.
Yeah, no question. I mean, it all starts for us, obviously, here in the Northeast, looking at that Philadelphia-Dallas game on Sunday Night Football. Should be a lot of fun. You even have a compelling game on Monday Night Football. A lot of guys, down. Devontae Freeman's going to miss that football game. Obviously, we know Richard Sherman's going to miss that football game. You get a couple guys back, maybe an Earl Thomas or so. That's definitely – and again, you're talking about like playoff-type scenario games that are going to decide a lot. I even like the New England-Oakland game down in Mexico.
Thursday's game, Donnie. Thursday's game, Titans-Steelers.
Yeah. You know what I'm interested? I look at that and I see the 7 and Gabe, same way on Sunday, and I'll admit it, I didn't have any money on it, but I'm saying to myself, looking at the Pittsburgh game going, this is like the perfect storm for the Steelers. Go in, get right, get rested, kill this team, and they should have lost that football game. Now you're coming back. Pittsburgh does play well at home, -7, but Tennessee comes in, you got the bad ankle for Mariota, you got the bum shoulder in there, but you're still laying 7 with the Steelers.
Yeah, it's a lot of points, I think, to be laying here. I mean, Tennessee can run the football. Mariota can scramble a bit. I mean, don't they match up? I mean, we're talking about a 6-3 football team against a 7-2 team getting a full touchdown. I think Tennessee match up extremely well with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And with all due respect to Mike Mularkey, who he's not exactly Mike Mularkey's not going to be able to charge $5,000 a weekend for a football coaching camp, Donnie, anytime soon. Yeah. But with that being stated, neither is Mike Tomlin, right? Yeah. Like Tomlin's not really out coaching anybody besides Marvin Lewis. So it's not like, Mularkey can – I worry about Mularkey at times. But I got to give him credit. He's winning football games, getting 7 points. I think we got a live dog here with Tennessee. I think Tennessee can win the game outright.
No, I agree with you there. If I can somehow get that crystal ball out, because I know Mariota left a little bit banged up. If he's mobile in this football game, there's no reason they shouldn't cover the 7 in there. You get the nice bonus with Hayden, who's been playing very well cornerback for the Steelers. He's going to miss this football game. Also, I believe Mitchell, the safety, is also going to probably miss this football game with the Steelers. A couple guys down. And I like the way, you know what, Gabe, when you look at Tennessee playing that favorite role, don't really like them because they're more of that. I want to turn the football over. If it's 3rd and 5, I'll get 6 yards by running it. I have 2 good running backs, a good tight end. They play a perfect scenario to stay within 7 points in this football game. So I agree with you there.
An interesting anomaly that I stumble across tonight. And I didn't create it myself. I read it. But nevertheless, it blew my mind. And I don't believe, fake news, Donnie, in today's media, So even when it comes to sports, and I never really fully trust stats, you know what I'm saying? And statistical trends, because it's like, these websites mess up all the time. So I saw that get this, the Houston Texans, teams that play the Houston Texans, Donnie, have lost every time this year, the following week. 8 fucking times. And I double-checked it. Like, pop open the schedule right now. It'll blow your mind.
Yeah.
Just so, like.
No, I hear you on that.
It's amazing.
And that's a big game this weekend.
It's weird, Rams, though. Like, normally you lose. Normally, like, teams, like, there's a lot of stats. Like, the Ravens and Steelers generally lose after they play each other because they beat each other up. Like, the Bills always lose after they play the Dolphins. There's a lot of those trends in the NFL. The teams lose after playing specific teams. But it's strange that a team loses all the time after kicking the shit out of Houston. It's just bizarro world.
Yeah, the other one, Gabe, that's an interesting one that used to be a stat a couple years ago was the game after you play the Seattle Seahawks, you spend so much energy with their physicality and their fast play that you just can't recover the next weekend. So there are interesting stats like that.
Yeah, the Houston Texans, unbelievable. Every team, guys, every team that's played the Texans has lost the following week this year, which leads us into the LA Rams, who played the Texans last. And I like the Minnesota Vikings already, so I like to know this little weird trend that's going on. But this, to me, I mean, you're an Eagles fan. I get it. You're looking forward to that game. But to me, the marquee matchup of the week this week is clearly the Rams and the Vikings. We're talking about two 7-2 football teams here. A combined 14-4, great offense versus a great defense. This is as good as it gets, in my opinion.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that game, Gabe? You look at it, it's the Rams in Minnesota. Like, people that really like football and get into it say, you know what, Rams pretty good football team, Minnesota's a pretty good football team. But there's so many, the way the casual bettor will look at that and be like, well, Case Keenum, everybody's waiting for Case Keenum to stink, Gabe. He's not stinking up the joint. And everybody's waiting for the Rams saying, well, they're just that young football team. They're not playing, we'll see. They'll eventually stumble down the line. Let me tell you something about the Rams. I was wrong on them right off the bat. I've admitted it. I already paid big man out on his bet a couple weeks back on the season total. I didn't think the Rams had that much. And I guess that's how bad Jeff Fisher is as a football coach. When McVay's come in, that offense, the way it is schemed is awesome, Gabe. And they have the perfect scenario on defense. Fast, athletic linebackers and a front line of front four that can get pressure off you organically without blitzing. I like the Rams, man. Good football team.
Yeah, they are, but so are the Minnesota Vikings.
I like it. Minnesota Vikings at home. You will never get an argument out of me. If somebody comes to me each and every week, Gabe, and says, I just like the Vikings because they're at home, I would agree with them 9 times out of 10. And I think I agree with them here. Haven't gone over all of the numbers together, but that defense at home, I've always likened that. So I'll lean, as right now, if I had to make a play, it would be the Minnesota Vikings right now at home under 3.
To me, not a lot of respect sitting at 2.5 here. And it's interesting. Earlier in the day, I went over the futures with Dave Malinsky on Game Time Decisions today. For the record, just quick, it's 116-107 for the Toronto Raptors right now, 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. I'm on the Raptors plus the points, and like a degenerate idiot, of course, I pushed it and grabbed the in-game over, 248.5. We'll see what happens here if we can get that. But yeah, you look at the Vikings, and we were going over the future numbers, and the Philadelphia Eagles are plus 250. They're plus 250 to win the NFC right now. The Seahawks are plus 500. The Saints are plus 500. Yet the Vikings are plus 750. The Vikings, despite being 7-2, not getting a lot of respect as far as the future market is concerned. And then once again, in this football game as well, Mike Zimmer actually, he just dominates, Donnie, against non-division opponents. And he does it on a weekly basis. I believe I think off the top of my head, he's like 27-6 now against teams not in the NFC North. He makes a living off of this. A complete football team, a balanced football team. Defensively, they give up 81 yards a game on the ground. Third in the NFL. Pass-wise, only 213 yards. Completely balanced offense, Donnie. Running for 118 yards a game and throwing for 245, ranked 11th and 12th, respectively. They just do everything well, this football team. I'm curious to see how does the youthfulness of this Rams offense hold up in what's going to be a pure, true, hostile road environment. Can Sammy Watkins hold up? Will Cooper Kupp get open? Most teams, are worn out by the end of the day playing the Rams, and then Gurley runs the ball up your ass. Or the Vikings, how is Case Keenum going to do in this game? There's just so much at stake. And, what do you make of the Zimmer shit, playing coy with the quarterback situation? You got to keep Case Keenum in here. The guy's winning. They're winning games, Donnie. You can't take him out now.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. I always love the fact that, like, the biggest misnomer in sports, Gabe, is, you know what? I have a team rule, and you don't lose your job just because you're injured. That's a bunch of bull. I mean, you saw it last year with the Dallas Cowboys, who Tony Romo is their crown jewel of their organization, and Dak Prescott comes along. And not to say Dak is unbelievable, the MVP candidate, but wait a second. We're rolling right now. Do we really want to bring the other quarterback in? Why would you bring Teddy Bridgewater in, Gabe? It's not like he hurt his hamstring, was out for 2 weeks, and Case Keenum came in and played well for 2 weeks. This has been Keenum's team all along here once Sam Bradford went down. And Teddy Bridgewater hasn't seen a game, like real game, in 800 days? Something ridiculous. So you're just going to plug him in there when your team's running hot. And the best thing that happened to Case Keenum was last week, that the Washington Redskins were able to hang a lot of points on the Minnesota Vikings. But the Minnesota Vikings said, you know what? I threw for, 310 yards and 4 touchdowns. If you need me in a game like this, I just showed you I can win a shootout, as opposed to saying, Kate, just don't make the mistake, or Case, don't make the mistake out there. Just throw for 200 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. We can win. He went out there and showed he can gunsling it and win games. That's huge. No way. They bring Bridgewater back. That's just a ridiculous mistake. Even, Gabe, if they lose this weekend, you don't push the panic button and say, well, Teddy Bridgewater is going to come back in.
No, listen, he's played good football. Case Keenum's done nothing to deserve to lose the keys to this car. He's 7-2. And, his first start was that loss, Donnie, you remember, against the Pittsburgh Steelers, in which he didn't play poorly. There's, to me, what it reminds me of, we're going back a ways, actually, the last time the Buffalo Bills made the playoffs. So we're going back 17 years ago. Mm-hmm. So, Doug Flutie came in. Doug Flutie was doing a great job. Yet he was always the underdog. It was a shock. Can Flutie continue doing this? And he did. Mm-hmm. And, the Bills were winning football games. And Flutie won, 9-10 games or so as a starter, whatever it was. And then the Bills were already locked in. All right. They can't advance in the playoffs in the last week. So then, of course, Ralph Wilson told Wade Phillips, I want to get a look at Rob Johnson. I want to get, we paid Rob Johnson all this money, and Phillips told him, yeah, but Doug Flutie's fucking winning games. We got a good thing going on with the Flutie Flakes and stuff. It's a special magical ride. And no, we want to get a look at Rob Johnson. And, no, it's just for the last game, and we're just going to rest up Flutie. And then, boom. Well, you know what? We think Rob Johnson should start. Wade Phillips left after that, right? I mean, he got overruled.
Yeah, I mean, it was almost like the Music City Miracle ending was karma in that football game, because really I don't think this was before Twitter, heavy internet stuff, and everybody watching all along, watching ESPN is like, no way the Bills are it almost like it was like a joke when the news broke, just the hand of the owner saying, you know what, I don't care what happened this year. I paid him a lot of money. You're going to start him in this football game, and nobody could believe it. Nobody.
I know. The crazy thing is, Rob Johnson didn't play poorly in that game. What people forget about the Music City Miracle is that Rob Johnson actually led him down the field right before, and they kicked a field goal. Steve Christie kicked a field goal to give the Bills the lead, and then it ensued to the Music City Miracle. So it was sort of forgotten about, but you messed up a good thing. You had a good thing going. The Vikings have a good thing going. Listen, if they're doing this to play coy right now, to just sort of get in the head of the Rams so they don't know the game plan for, okay. But if they're fucking serious about this, and Malinsky's been bringing this up with me for a couple of weeks, and I always disagree. He's like, well, in January you want Bridgewater. The guy hasn't played in fucking years. Like you said, he's not coming back from a fucking, from a broken pinky here or something. This is a serious injury he's coming back from. I mean, to me, it's just lunacy. I don't understand why these guys overthink things, Donnie.
No, you're right. You're right. And what has Keenum, it wasn't like it was like a Band-Aid where you're just holding on. If you remember back to maybe 2002 when the Eagles made a run without McNabb to the #1 seed, A.J. Feely came in games and won down the stretch going 4-0. But it wasn't because A.J. Feely was back there. You knew you had a placeholder in set where McNabb broke his ankle. He's going to be fine when he gets back, just has to get his legs back under him. And he's your guy going forward. There was never any modicum of, oh, well, if he does well, he's no. When the starter came back, he was going to play. But McNabb wasn't out, you're right, for like 16 months and just is going to reappear and say, I'm ready to take over this football team when you're already playing well. And I'm sure Teddy Bridgewater, as a teammate, sure he wants to play football and play in these games. But unless Case Keenum goes down and gets injured, why don't they go out this weekend game and they lose 24-21 at home? Oh, my God, we got to put Bridgewater in there. No, like maybe Case Keenum threw like 7 interceptions and it was just pathetic, but he hasn't.
Yeah, what do you do if you put Bridgewater in there and he sucks? Well, you go back to Keenum. You've already fucked his head up. And what if he
start
gets
playing
hurt?
the musical chairs?
Yeah, what if he gets hurt? Then all right, Case. I didn't really have confidence in you, buddy. I didn't really, I thought, go in there now, dude. Another thing is, it seems to me it's inevitable. The way Minnesota's luck is, Case Keenum's going to get fucking hurt anyways, right?
Yeah,
that's the way that it seems to work. Just be patient. And if whatever, you get through the year and you deal with this next year. You have a competition if you want Bridgewater to be your quarterback. But to me, it's just fucking lunacy, man, what they're talking about.
And what are we actually talking about here? Teddy Bridgewater's that game manager and they wrote a hot defense and he did just enough to win games. Did I miss where he was just like throwing for like he was Drew Brees or Aaron Rodgers out there? I mean, we're not talking about my God, when he gets back. Yeah, it's not Warren Moon coming back
right now, where it's Deshaun's ready to play, but we're gonna stick with Savage.
You're 100% right. Yeah, we're fighting over a guy who just showed you he can win and throw for over 300 yards, but yet you want to go back to Bridgewater to manage the game or something. It doesn't make any sense to me at all.
All right, quick take, guys. We're anxious gamblers, Donnie, in the chat all the time. You know what they're like, right? They panic. It was 10:01, man. They came on. What are we taking in the Stanford game? Fuck. Tips off at 11, guys.
Hold on. There's going to be a professional tease here by Gabe.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, speaking of which, though, the number we got burnt the other night taking Eastern Washington against the Washington Huskies. So let's look at what's Stanford done so far this year. Stanford's 2-0, but they're 0-2 against the spread. Stanford Cardinal beat Pacific by 9, and they beat Cal Poly by 16. By 16. Meanwhile,
looks like not a heavily bet game. Looks like 67% offshore on Stanford. Line opened up 16.5, sitting at 16.5. So not much movement there. Even on the overrun, even the Pinnacle opened up an early number 157, and that's now shown at 151, 152. So a little bit of movement on that, but not much on the actual line itself. It looks like.
Well, Raptors emphatic smackdown. I'm going to get screwed on my second half fucking over though, but at least I hit the over and the Raptors. I was going to money line this game too. Easily to say now, but. Raptors up 129-111, a real beatdown.
Jeez, how about that?
Yeah, real beatdown of the Raptors. Smacked the shit out of the Houston Rockets. So yeah, I'm leaning, guys. I just think the number's a little bit high here at 16.5. I think we got a puncher's chance, and we can hang in this game. I don't see any reason why we can't hang in the spot. What was the score against Washington the other? Let me just double check this shit. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that was 79-69. Yeah, look, they lost by 10 the other night against the Washington team that pushes the tempo more, Donnie, right? Stanford don't push through. Washington are a running gun team.
You know what? With the new coach, I'm not even sure what the new coach with Romar out of there, what their actual game plan is. But yeah, Stanford's always been known to run more clock.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a shot, guys. Let's play the dog here, plus 16.5. Obviously not a 5-star lock or anything. It's not the Donnie right side 5-star lock on the closing line, but we'll grab a piece of Eastern Washington. Raptors kicked the shit out of them. That's a win right there. We hit the over as well. Nice night of picks so far. Some of these in-games backfiring on me, but the night's still early. All right, Donnie. So what games catch your eye the most for betting purposes? Like the numbers that caught my eye were the Green Bay Packers as an underdog. The Packers, if they would have lost to the Bears, this past week, they would have pitched the tent and waved the flag. But they get the win, and now they look at the schedule, and I think McCarthy looks and says, you know what? We have another game we can win here. I mean, you could argue that this defense can confuse Brett Hundley, but at the same point in time, this Ravens offense isn't scaring anybody. I mean, it's hard to lay 2 points with the Ravens on the road against anybody.
Yeah, it's nice that it's nice that they're getting the break, and the Ravens have been beat up just about as bad as anybody to start the NFL year. I like the fact their defense. I like the way their defense is going to match up against the Packers offense. I also like the fact that Aaron Rodgers obviously still being out. You lose Jones as the running back. Hundley got banged up in that game with his hamstring, but he's supposed to play. But a lot of his elusiveness comes from getting out of the pocket. If that's going to be a little bit of a hindrance, that's going to be a little bit of bolstering on the Ravens. But are we trusting Flacco yet? I mean, all I hear is like, oh my God, he gets Danny Woodhead back. Like, is Danny Woodhead going to come back and now they're going to score 28, 31 points a game? They're one of the most anemic offenses in the NFL, and I'm sure I haven't looked at the weather, but at this time of the year, we saw it last week, even in the Chicago game out there. And what do we got? 28 degrees. It's going to be clear, about 15 miles an hour. Like, where's Joe Flacco's head at? Like, he's not even playing as a top 15 or a top 20 quarterback. He's in the bottom third of the league. You're going to have to go there and score some points to beat that team. And you're right. That win in Chicago, it's one of those things where you just look over on the sideline. Aaron Rodgers eventually is going to be back, and they're just praying, like, can we just hold on to the last couple games of the season where we can get Rodgers back and maybe make a playoff run? That's still all in front of them, but it's hard for me to trust Hundley, especially if he's a little bit banged up with that hamstring. I would watch some practice reports as they go forward. If it's not affecting them, then they certainly would be a live dog at home. I agree.
Couple of these short prices catch my eye. The other one, the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. The Lions do a good job of winning games like this. The Lions do a good job of beating teams that they're supposed to beat. Laying 2.5 in that football game. Some lower spreads here this weekend. Your Philadelphia Eagles actually against the Dallas Cowboys. We always talk about it. I went over the numbers today with Big Man on Morency Unfiltered, and you and I often talk about Sean Lee, and it seems to be almost a bi-weekly situation in which Sean Lee is out of the football game and not playing. But I couldn't find a win-loss record, Donnie, but it's fucking amazing the amount of points, the difference. With Sean Lee out of the game, the 2 games he didn't play, they gave up 35 or more. The 1 game that he got knocked out of, same shit. There was a shitload of points. The games that he played in, 18 points a game. Yep. It's an amazing difference between with Sean Lee in the lineup and not in the lineup. And it's really only, you can think like, sort of like Luke Kuechly. You don't really want the Panthers without Luke Kuechly in that defense. But, Sean Lee, it's amazing how critical he actually is.
No, first couple drives in that Atlanta game on Sunday, like, man, that front seven is getting after it. There's no running lanes out there. They intercept Matt Ryan. They go up 7-0. Before you know it, he goes out of the game, start handing the ball off to Coleman. Now you're getting 8-9 yards. Now you're able to get around the side. Now the tight end is getting open over the field, and your defense completely breaks down. It's amazing because Sean Lee is a good football player, but are we talking about like Urlacher in his prime over the middle, or like just a superior dominant middle linebacker?
No, it's amazing. It shows the leadership. It shows the leadership.
It's just getting people in the right position. The confidence, maybe saying, if I'm the outside linebacker, hey, maybe I can cheat a little bit on the tight end because Sean Lee will have me covered over the middle. Or if I shoot a gap, he'll clean it up if the run goes the opposite way. The minute he goes out of the game, me and Big Man always talk about that too, saying if you're looking at the Dallas Cowboys and you like a total, if Sean Lee is not playing on the defense, it's usually a pretty good total because Dallas is going to give up a lot of points with him out. It's amazing. It's not a lockdown corner. It's not like DeMarcus Ware being out back in the day. He's just a very good middle linebacker, but for some reason, when he's out, the entire defense collapses.
Yeah, Cowboys have allowed 27 or more points in all 3 games when Lee didn't play into the second half. 35 to the Packers and Rams when Lee did not play. 27 to the Falcons when he left the football game mid-game with an injury. That's an average of 32.3 points per game. In the 6 games in which Lee played in its entirety, they gave up 18 points per game. That's fucking 15.2 points per game differential with Sean Lee on the field, man. That's insanity.
It's amazing. Yeah. That's like having 6 players out for the game, all starters. So you know what? That makes sense. But there's always been something to this Sean Lee stuff, and every time you see it, like when is the last time the Dallas Cowboys rose up and said, Sean Lee's not in, we're still going to shut it down? It never happens, Gabe. It's really one of those anomalies. Like it's not Ray Lewis in 2003 out here. It's Sean Lee, but it obviously affects them greatly.
Yeah, and you got Smith is out. You go down the injury list of the Dallas Cowboys, and it looks like a hell of a lot to overcome for these guys right now. I mean, Sean Lee's not the only injury that they have, and they have a real tough. They have a real tough part of the schedule.
What did we talk about on Sunday with Ezekiel Elliott? It's not the fact that Ezekiel Elliott is, I'm going to gain 30 yards every time. But that 3rd and 1 where he busts through the line, he gets 17, 18 yards. Like, you're not going to get that anymore. And that really puts a strain on your offense. I mean, Tyron Smith being out was huge in that game. And I don't know what type of pass protection they thought they were going to get, but they weren't chip blocking. They weren't helping Chaz Green at all. But just the fact that you have Ezekiel Elliott where the defense says, I have to watch this guy first before anything happens out there. How do you think play action breaks down there where you say, hey, I'm going to hand off to Rod Smith? No, you're not. I'm coming right after the quarterback. I'll let that running back go because I know you're not handing the football off. It's interesting.
Yeah, I thought that potentially I would be interested in a live home dog in a situation like this, but I just don't see it. I think the Eagles are just that much better than a football team right now and healthier than the Dallas Cowboys are. There's some short numbers on the board. The Raiders laying 6.5 against the Patriots laying 6.5 against the Raiders. Interesting dynamic that the Raiders played in Denver in the altitude, so the highest mile high city. And then the following week, they're playing in Mexico City, which is even more of an altitude challenge than.
Wait, didn't they play? They played the Dolphins, right? Oakland that last week.
The Raiders, the Raiders have been. Raiders played the Dolphins last Sunday Night Football, I guess. Yeah.
I got you sitting from New England. Yeah, New England actually played there and then stayed in Colorado Springs. I read just to get more altitude.
Yeah, they're practicing at the Air Force Academy.
Yep.
So that's more altitude. Then they roll into Mexico City. They're going to be way acclimated to this already. It's going to be a major advantage for them going into the second half of this football game. And if there's one coach that understands this and is diabolical enough, Bill Belichick's going to do a million of the little dink and dunks that he does, get the Raiders defense running around vertically early and just wear them the fuck out. I think the Raiders. I think the Raiders are in trouble this game. I think the Patriots beat them up. Point spread 6.5. I generally don't lay 6.5 in these games, but I do think it's a bad spot for the Raiders.
Yeah, what's really interesting about this game too, Gabe? It's one of those times where how you see that team rounding into form. You waited on it. You had them slicing and dicing for the first couple of weeks of the season on defense. Now you see them getting some players back, settling into what they like to do. They were off the bye, and the Denver Broncos aren't a very good football team. The Broncos made a lot of mistakes in that game, but Denver put them away. I mean, Collins was saying during the game, it doesn't even matter what happens out there. All they're going to do is feast on the linebackers. They obviously had mismatches with their running backs and tight ends on the Denver linebackers, and they just crushed it. If that game would have went on all night, the Patriots could have scored 150 points against that Denver team. Now you're coming in and overall, player for player, Oakland's not even half the team Denver is on defense, and it looks like New England is just, Gabe, rounding in the form. It's one of those things, do you want to get in front of Tom Brady right now? It's one of, I don't want any business bet. I'm going to try to find a way to bet New England. I know it's a neutral site game. It's not really a true road game. But right now with New England, Gabe, I don't know if I want to step in front of them unless I'm getting 10.5 or 13.5 points.
Buffalo Bills and the Chargers I'm seeing off the board right now. And I thought it was a bad
concussion.
Yeah, I thought it was a bad spot for the Buffalo Bills. But this is the season for the Bills right now. It's one of these deals where I give them a pass for that Jet game. I don't hold it against them. I'm not mad about it. It sucks that I happen to be there, but I'm not mad about it. It is what it is. But last week was an embarrassment. Last week, when a team runs the ball down your throat 24 consecutive times in a row, Donnie, you got a problem. And that's what happened. Yeah. 24 consecutive runs, man. 24. Drew Brees ran for a 10-yard touchdown, scrambled. It was an embarrassment. I've seen a lot of bad Buffalo Bill games. That was as bad as it gets. Their season's still salvageable. As it is right now, the Bills are still a playoff team. But they've got to stop the bleeding. So my point is, before the season started, when you do we could win this game, and I don't know about that game, I never really had this LA Charger game penciled in as a win. And, you want to win your home games. They can get that Saints game back, Donnie, with the win this week. So to me, the season's on the line. They don't. They're 5-5. You just lost to a 3-6 football team. Then the wheels have completely fallen off, and it's same old with the Bills. This is a massive motherfucking football game for the Buffalo Bills this week.
Yeah, last week, you want to talk about a disappointing effort. You had everything in front of you if you're the Buffalo Bills. You get that game where you can bring out the measuring stick. We got you at home. It's not great weather for the road team. You would like to see it maybe a little bit more windy. But the one thing that really, I took a step back with, number one, the physicality of New Orleans just punched Buffalo in the mouth. And you don't see it that much, especially games in Buffalo and that type of weather. They're built and prided in front of those fans on good defense. The other thing that had me a little bit shaky, Gabe, was the second half where Tyrod Taylor couldn't really get much going. I mean, it was in a blowout situation where the defense laxes up a little bit, and he couldn't even get that rhythm to say, all right, I'm going to punch in 2 late touchdowns in the fourth quarter when they don't really care, but just to show, you know what, we're going to be on the move. Let's get some points together. Let's get some good feelings. It was one of the worst beatings I've seen because from every facet, New Orleans was better there. No,
they really were. And, it's interesting. Anthony Lynn, of course, was the former running back coach of the Buffalo Bills last year, but he wasn't there for a ton of time or anything like that. This is gut check time, man. And it's not as though the Chargers have a huge home field advantage. The Buffalo Bills have never played well on the West Coast. They've never played well in Florida. They've never played well in the sun. And they haven't played that well in Buffalo over the years either, for the record. But, I don't know. Maybe they can surprise us and they can dig down deep and find one. So Donnie, college football rankings are released tonight. No major surprises. Doesn't really matter whether Clemson or Miami are ranked ahead of each other because they're going to be playing each other. And if, I was talking with Malinsky about this, if things play to form, really the question is, will Wisconsin run the table? And if Wisconsin runs the table, they're going to get in. Auburn beating Alabama really throws things for a loop. It's going to be an interesting couple of weeks over the next couple of weeks. So that's why college football is just so damn good. Every week is so important. But let's just say, for argument's sake, Alabama wins out. All right, they're in. The Clemson-Miami winner, that settles itself right there. The loser's out. Oklahoma's controlling its own destiny. And then Wisconsin. We could have a potential playoff of Alabama, Miami or Clemson, Oklahoma, and Wisconsin as of right now. That's the way it's looking.
Yeah, looking at that TV show, Gabe, I don't watch it at all. I don't want any piece of it because all it is marketing material for ESPN. None of their rankings matter at all right now. There's so much football left. And how many times you see it? Was it last year or the year that Ohio State crept in because they were blowing everybody out and they had to beat Wisconsin by 60 points? They were on the outside looking in the entire year. No matter what they did, they weren't moving up. And all of a sudden, the last show, they get in the playoff. It's all about stage. And we're going to run a half-hour ad and we're going to trick people at the end. And they do stuff on purpose there. There's nobody in their right mind who would say right now that Clemson should be ranked over Miami. But you know what? There's going to be angry fan bases out there, and it's going to want to talk. And ESPN's like, you know what? That's pretty good for ratings. If we can put something lunatic out there that makes no sense, at least the very next morning, people are going to talk about the college football playoff. That's exactly the way they want it. Another team wins. They creep up out of nowhere. Well, how did this team get put in here? And why did correct me if I'm wrong. Syracuse went on the road Clemson goes on the road and gets licked by Syracuse. Miami has no losses, back-to-back wins over, a top 13 team and the number 3 team overall. But you still say that Clemson is better, even though they have a loss. I'm really flummoxed by this. It used to be if you go out and schedule tough and you both had one loss, you gave it to the guy that scheduled the tougher games because you both had one loss. But one team that's undefeated and the other team scheduled tough and has a loss, that's actually better? Where do we start making that up at?
I think Wisconsin's getting a little bit disrespected as well. Wisconsin, listen, they can schedule tougher out-of-conference opponents, but they're in the Big Ten. Wisconsin, we'll find out. They just happened to get lucky this year and with the way that the Big Ten schedule played out for them. But Michigan's been energized a little bit right now, Donnie, with the quarterback change with Peters coming in right now. And, Michigan not in the playoff conversation, but with that being stated, controlling their own destiny as well. They beat Wisconsin this week. They beat Ohio State, and suddenly Michigan's looking pretty sexy. It's a big game, man. Big game for the Wisconsin Badgers against Michigan this week.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. If you look at it, line up with up at 10 game, it's already down to 7.5. So say what you want. Sharps, we're just going to take chunks off that right away and say, I'll deal with the double digits and see what happens. Because when you look at it on the face of it, Wisconsin's not really that team that's going to air it out and throw it. But I've seen enough Wisconsin football this year that when they just say, I'm going to line up big and run double tight ends, and I'm going to hand off the tail of the running back, nobody can stop us. Every single game, Gabe, I think his lowest point is like 4.7 yards per carry in one game. The other game's 7, 8, 9, 10 yards per carry. Until somebody steps up and stops them, which you would think Michigan would be the type of physical defense that will be able to do it. But until I see somebody shut down Wisconsin's running game, especially at home, I'm not going to believe it. Me and Jeff were arguing back and forth in this game early in the week. Don't have a great idea on it, but until Wisconsin gets beat, I'm not going to believe it. I think they're going to be able to hand off the tail 35 times if they want to in this football game and push Michigan all over the field. And I don't know how Michigan's going to respond to that or if Michigan can score enough points. I would lean Wisconsin right now this one.
Virginia goes into Miami. Miami are like 19. We'll see if these kids can keep the pedal to the metal and they play with the intensity that they're playing with. And, of course, the big game of the week that everybody, the marquee matchup of the week by far, Mercer and Alabama. Like, if you're Alabama, like, really? You're playing fucking Mercer
do it every year.
Point? I know, and it's funny.
They do it every year before the Iron Bowl.
Auburn's playing Monroe, actually. So that's actually a real sort of a real team. It's comical. Like, why don't both you teams just take a fucking bye week, all right, at this point in time?
Exactly. Yeah. Like, don't get any, because this is one of those games, Gabe, where they know what the stakes are in the Iron Bowl and how important that rivalry game is and what it means for national championships. It's one of those where they literally say, guys, look, can we get a nice little lead in the first half and I can pull everybody out of this football game? No, but neither fan base, neither head coach, and neither football team, Gabe, wants anything to do this weekend. It's all about the Iron Bowl, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, you're right. This is, well, you know what? The kids get to play a bit, and, guys that are on the sidelines all year get in here. Mercer's 5-5, big game for them coming in here.
Shock the world, baby. Take them.
Yeah, you know what? You got nothing to lose. I don't know. Sometimes these little stumbles happen. Is there any chance you think Miami stumbles in this spot?
You know what's interesting, Gabe? The thing I always worry about when you're looking at pressure-type situations, and a couple weeks ago, it's the same type of situation. UMass went into Mississippi State when the team was rolling and they're looking for the Alabama. What's the worst thing that you can do in this type of environment? I know Miami's excited. They're undefeated. They're looking big picture. They're probably going to have a big crowd there. But something to be said, Gabe, about having back-to-back 8 o'clock starts, national attention, ABC. Here we are. Come feast on us. And now you're walking around campus this week, Gabe. Like, you know what? Yeah, maybe we are the shit. But then you get lopped into not a 3:30 game, not a 7 o'clock game, not the 8 o'clock game.
Noon.
12 noon.
Not to mention Miami's success puts more energy and gives more energy to the opponent as well. Yep. If you're Virginia, you already got a bowl game locked in. You're 6-4. You're better. You know what? You're better than people thought you were going to be this year. And now you're saying, look at this, man. Imagine we knock off these fuckers that we're seeing on ESPN every day all week and their fucking stupid chain and all that shit. Like, it motivates. Now Miami's got a target on their back, and Virginia comes in here playing with house money.
Yeah, if you look at the game overall, Gabe, the one thing that Miami's feasted on the last 2 weeks, you're taking that young freshman, sophomore-ish type quarterback who's more apt to run the football than actually be a complete passer with Virginia Tech and Notre Dame. Now you get that flip side. You get a smart team coming to town with a quarterback that can throw it around and can complete that ball. 3rd and 9 for Notre Dame, Virginia Tech. Just get off the field. The kids weren't completing those passes. They didn't even know what defense they were looking at. Now you're going to get that veteran starter coming here again at noon. And Gabe, the best scenario, you hear me say it all the time, not asking Virginia to win the football game outright, not even to stay within 7 or 14. They're getting damn near 3 touchdowns in this football game. That's a lot to expect from a Miami team when the MO before, Gabe, these last 2 monster night games when everything was on the line is we're going to win in the fourth quarter in a close game. You're getting 3 touchdowns here with Virginia.
Disappointing for overbettors, including myself, in this Kansas-Kentucky game. Man, it was a nice pace earlier. Really hit the wall. Man, what
was the over-under you got? What was the total you got?
150. 150. You know what's frustrating about this, though, is the in-game got as high as 160, 162, Donnie, with about 6-7 minutes left in the first half, all the way down to 145.5 right now. Kansas Jayhawks up 34-33 in this spot. So what are you working on for tomorrow's show, Donnie?
That me and the big man. Actually, tomorrow's our roundtable show. Bobano will be on there. We'll have Drew Martin, me, and also the big man on campus. We always have fun. More of a look-around show with the roundtable is what's going forward, who to bet on, who bet against, as opposed to who's going to be on tonight. But a lot of stuff to look forward to. The one game, Gabe, in the NFL, before I get out of here, the one game that actually is piquing my interest more than any other game is I love it as you get this late in the season. It's, did the New York Giants quit? Did they not quit? Do they even feel like playing football? and Andy Reid in Kansas City coming to town. And I already saw the setup game opened up at 12 or 13. It's already down to 10.
I think it could get ugly.
Dude, no way in hell, Gabe, can I bet? Because I lost. I had the 2-1. I went on the closing. My 4 o'clock game was that.
We got a winner here. Akron Zips. Official. 37-34. Terry Bowden punches a ticket into a bowl game. Emphatically with a 6 win. Good for
them. They absolutely deserved it. There was no 21-10. Ohio had the lead. And from that moment, they're getting in. They're getting. Yeah. You know, it's funny. Usually, like the Akron type team will be like, "Hey, we beat Ohio tonight," and then next week on deck you got Toledo, and it's like, "God damn it, we're not actually going to make the game." You get Kent State next week. It's like a party on campus.
Hey, Kent State 7-5. Go to the Ford Field in the capital city, big city. Like it's big, good for them and good for me because I just hit the points. And not only did we hit the points, but we hit the money line at plus 215 as well. And I'm such a degenerate. I actually played an in-game over 67.5, and 37-34 equals 71. So that's a win. You know, that's Donnie, you know what my problem is, honestly?
Yeah.
I pick winners before the game, and I get fucking greedy, and I chase shit, you know? Like, I had the Raptors tonight. I had the over. Yep. Could have just kicked back and gone.
You know how many times you even mess around, Gabe, when you have money on the line and your game is looking like really good at the half, and you go, damn, that's a big middle. I'm going to take that. And you end up winning no money when you had a sure thing in your pocket.
Why do we do this? Is it greed? Stupidity?
It's like you want to press it down, like, ooh, yep, I was so good on this game. I'm going to press it down. And you have like a 14-point middle in football, and you just lose it. And you're like, I had an easy win, and now I have no money to show for it. Congrats.
No, I know. The same shit. I'm watching the Raptors. I'm like, I bet the Raptors, they're winning by 28, and I'm sweating out the last 2 minutes of this game. It's like, why? Like, why? Like,
I'm going to press and double down on that instead of, exactly. You're sweating it out when you could have just put the money in your wallet at halftime and went home, but now you're sweating it out.
I almost want to bet in a book that doesn't have live in-game, but everyone has fucking live in-game now.
Especially when you're talking sports all night. Gabe, what are you doing? You're like, you know what? That game does look good. I'm going to press the button on this and bet it right now.
So frustrating. So frustrating. Hey, great stuff as always, Donnie. Thanks for taking the time to be with us tonight. Great time of the sports year. We're gonna have a good time this Sunday. It'll be interesting, actually, Donnie. We'll see if my phone could pull it off, but I won't really be much of help actually at the half because I won't be seeing much. I can give it a Toronto Argonaut halftime update, but I'll be good for the morning show, 12 till 1. But you could be on your own at the half because I'll be at the game with Babano, actually, the Argonaut game.
Yep. No, we'll hold it down there. By the way, Gabe, before I get out of here, Monday, 10 a.m., me and the big man go to mornings. So morning drive time, wake up at 10 a.m. on Sportsbook Review. That starts up a whole new episode for us. We'll have a lot of fun.
Starting at 10 a.m. That's better, actually, yeah.
Big man's going to be able to get out of bed before noon. He's going to start functioning in life. Yeah, we're excited.
Wow, he's going to have to get up early. You're starting 10 a.m. from now on Monday.
Yep, 10 a.m. Low Shack in the Bag is going to move to our slot at 12:30, and we're going to take over the 10 a.m. there, have a little drive time, fun, talk a lot, more of like a recap. So you're able to, wake up almost like an ESPN type, thing. Like, hey, what happened last night? We'll have some fun, crack some jokes, and
I like
do a couple of things. We're excited.
I can check you guys out in the morning because I'm on the radio at 12. So now it's not a conflict. Yep. We're not going head to head.
There it is. We'll make it happen, Gabe. Gabe, always fun to be on the show. But again, we'll have some fun on Sunday and hopefully grab some winners there. And I'll be sweating the Eagles on Sunday, even though it's later. And we'll be right in the midst of getting you ready for that Buffalo Bills game as well. So good time, Gabe.
Hey, damn right, Donnie. Always a pleasure, bro.
Thanks, buddy.
There's Donnie right side was great stuff. Yeah, man. Big man on campus is a pretty late night guy. The guy doesn't go to bed till 4 or 5 a.m. He's like me. I'm on at noon, and it's okay. I prefer it because before I was on at 8 till 9, and it was inconvenient with this show. But, it's brutal. Like, if I was just doing a radio show at noon, it wouldn't be a problem. I'd wake up at 9, 10 a.m., and I'd just say, hey, good, life's good. Thing is, though, I wake up at 9, 10 a.m., and I got a radio show. I got a TV show at 2, and I got another show at 3:30. So everything has to be prepared before noon. So my mornings are really pretty crazy. I get into routines where I prepare my TV show overnight, but I've been going so fucking late on this show. It's been fucking me up. But tonight I'm not. I always say that, but tonight I'm not. We're ending the show at 12 o'clock on the dot. Probably not 12 o'clock on the dot, but I've actually got to do a podcast this evening after this show. I do a podcast for UWager. Just a quick sort of line check, look at some of the numbers and trends for the week. And normally I send it to them a little bit earlier than this, but I had some internet and computer problems earlier tonight. So later in the evening when I wrap this up, I've got to knock off another podcast. Got to hustle, Trotter. Got to keep the hustle alive, bro. I'm squeezing every fucking minute out of every day I can, man. Like I say, most people are like, oh, you're ending the show. Yeah, I'm ending the show, and I'm going to do a UWager podcast at fucking 12:30 at night here. Do I still believe in the overs? What overs? I've ever met Bret Hart. No, I've never met Bret Hart. I've had Bret Hart on my my radio and TV shows. I've interviewed Bret Hart many times. Not many times, but 2 times. 2 times. Maybe 3. Yeah, I've had Bret Hart on twice, actually. I had Bret Hart on once when he was in a good mood and he was sort of more businesslike. And I had Bret Hart on once when he was reflective about life type shit. Oh, the Kansas game? Yeah, I like the over. It's 145.5. Listen, I don't know how the fuck it slowed down as much as it did. Because when I was looking, both teams were in the bonus with like 6 minutes left in the first half. And I noticed it was very clunky basketball. Guys bumping into each other and sort of physical and stuff. So, I'm somewhat surprised there wasn't more free throws unless they were missing free throws. I like the Philadelphia Eagles. I like the Philadelphia Eagles in this game. I wanted to take the Cowboys just to go head-to-head with Big Man on Sunday night. But no, you know what? I can't justify it. If you missed our conversation earlier, we talked about it with Sean Lee. Sean Lee being out of the lineup makes a difference of 15.2 points per game for the Dallas Cowboys defense. He's not there. Tyron Smith's not there. They're missing all kinds of guys, man, on both sides of the football now. It's starting to catch up to them. The Philadelphia Eagles have done a damn good job of keeping the pedal to the metal on a weekly basis. Now, we'll see if the bye week, who knows, man. Maybe the Eagles were soaring high and suddenly the bye week throws them for a curve. But when you add up no Elliott, no Smith, no Sean Lee, Des Bryant banged up, listen, Dak Prescott's good, but he's not Superman. There's only so much Dak Prescott can do. And I tell you, the Philadelphia Eagles are starting to look like the Atlanta Falcons of last year. Very similar situation. It's just a weekly thing where they're just kicking ass. The only thing with the Eagles is, and I said this too, even when I argued with Big Man months ago or 2 months ago about this, when I told him to chill out with the Eagles, I said, listen, I have no problem with the Eagles. I'm just stating that it comes down to one game in the playoffs. And these other teams aren't going away, man. The Vikings are the real deal. If the Philadelphia Eagles go to Minnesota in the playoffs, Minnesota beats them. Minnesota's a fucking load to deal with in that stadium. And Minnesota's 7-2 right now. This game is massive. This game is massive with the Rams and the Vikings. The loser of the Vikings-Rams game gets bumped from getting home field advantage type shit. They're playoff teams, but you need to keep pace with the Eagles right now. And the Rams play the Eagles, right? Yeah, I was at the Montreal screw job. I was there. I was there that night. Have I ever met Lisa Ann? Yes. I could tweet out a picture. I have a picture with me and Lisa. Yeah, I met Lisa Ann. Yeah, it's a big football game. Big football game. All right, so what do we got going on here? All right, nice to hit the win there, right, with Akron. You're welcome, Jazz. I spoke to Jazz here. I told him, take Akron. Fuck, I should have moneylined that son of a bitch, though, at plus 1,400. That was a nice little swing for me there. I was really disappointed in myself. I hit some in games, and I didn't like losing and giving away my winners. But hitting the plus 215 Akron money line was nice. I hit an in game over 67.5 in that game. I was on Akron. Our game time decision picks have been fire, guys. I know Cody AV checks them out on a daily basis. You know, we gave the Raptors money line. We gave the Raptors Raptors Rockets over the number. I gave Central Michigan and Kent State over. I gave Akron plus the points. I gave the Montreal Canadiens and the under. So we split that. I don't know. We're like fucking 6-1 or something like that tonight. I really don't give a shit, to be honest with you. Doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Fuck. All that matters is at the end of this fucking night that I have more money than I fucking started with tonight. Like, because the way things are going, even when I win, I lose. You know what I'm saying? Even when I win, I lose. So that's the way this shit rolls right now. Which leads us into the nightcap, in which we've got Eastern Washington plus 16.5 against Stanford. And, of course, we'll track the second half of this game here tonight. The big one. Oh, no, it's 2-0 Stanford. We're screwed. Fucking Eastern Washington just missed a shot, too. Looks like we have more people in the chat than they do in the stands at this game. There's no one there. Wow, like there's alarmingly like no one there in this game in Stanford. I'm looking at the gym. Like, seriously, look at this, guys. How many of you are watching this? Turn it on right now. Fucking Stanford playing good defense. Oh, a hell of a shot. Good defense, but it went in. Like, seriously, there is nobody in the stands of this Stanford game. Which is good. I don't have a problem with it. Less intimidating for Eastern Washington. You see this shit, David H? There's no one there. Like, there's more people in the chat right now than there's at a Stanford game right now. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I didn't even ask for the thumbs up yet, but if you can, yeah, give us the thumbs up. The breakers are for sale, huh? Finley's at the game, 56 people. Yeah, give us a thumbs up right now. Give the thumbs up. And, like I said, I don't care about that stuff, but SBR likes it. SBR cares about the thumbs up. And I know you guys like SBR and you like the free shows that they give you. So if you want to continue with the free programming, then make sure you give the thumbs up because they look at this stuff. How much does it cost How much does it cost to buy an Australian basketball team? We have a hard enough time fucking with our fucking horse. We're going to buy a basketball team now. I wanted to buy a basketball team in the ABA, $10,000 only. I can't. I'm looking here. It says the 36ers, something about. Let's see. Fuck. Looks like the NBL in Australia is owned by one dude. But put it this way, we can't afford it. Fuck me, 7-2 Stanford already. Yeah, put it this way, we can't afford it. It's not cheap, man. The NBL in Australia is a real league. That's like a, yeah, how much? Yeah, I'm in on that. Really, what, in the Costa Rican professional league, Zach? I'm looking to add to my sports portfolio. I've got the racehorse. Like I said, I'm dead serious. Like I used to do I was a broadcaster for ABA basketball, the Montreal Matrix. And I asked, how much is a team? Fuck, how much is like whatever? And they said $10,000 expansion. I was like, really? I can own an ABA team for $10,000. And I was going to get the listeners to pool in. I would be the GM. I'd be the GM and broadcaster. I wouldn't be the GM of a soccer team, though. How much? Yeah, how much is how much do they want for a Costa Rican soccer team? We can't buy the Breakers, fuck. Guys, the Breakers will cost like fucking $18 million or something. It's not, we're not talking about a joke league. No, I don't want any more horses, Zach. Soccer interests me. Yeah, that used to be my goal, Amar, but even junior hockey's too much now. You know, like Homer Simpson, his dream was always to own the Dallas Cowboys. It's crazy. I've told people this. I had a dream once that I bought the fucking Calgary Stampeders. No shit. And I never remember my dreams. It was one of the most vivid dreams I ever had. I own the Calgary Stampeders. I remember I was walking on the field. I was talking to the players and stuff. And I was like, you guys, we got to win the division this year because, got to pay the bills. Like in my dream, I was pointing to the stands. I was like, we got a lot of stands to fill. And if you guys don't win, we don't fill the stands. So we got to win. No, we're not getting Greyhound's too sleazy. Greyhound's too sleazy. Costa Rican soccer team sounds good. Till the Costa Rican mob fucking makes us start throwing matches and shit. Me and Zach are going to be behind the stadium, fucks, and be fucking a bunch of dudes pull up, fuck. Hey, you lose today, huh? What? You guys are losing today, right? What's going on, Mick? Mick's going into surgery tomorrow, hanging out with us right now. Now, if you guys think about it, the only team we can own is Grand Canyon. But honestly, what's a league that we could afford? Now, secondly, what's a league we could afford for real? Like, what's, and we got to be able to make money off whatever team we have, or at least not lose money. IBL baseball, yeah, international. How much is an international baseball league team? Darts, eh? How about an e-sport team? Yeah, let's get an e-sport team. Imagine like holding the auditions. Fuck, you just get a bunch of fucking kids playing video here. What do you got, kid? We can't afford the CHL team. No. Wrestling's a losing entity. Wrestling's already ruined my life as it is. I've already been affected by Impact Wrestling. I don't want any part of wrestling. I don't want any part of horse racing or wrestling. You know what I always thought, too, though, would be cool? We just picked up like a homeless guy, and we turned him into a fighter. Like we grab a guy off the street, and we say, listen, we're going to give you a place to stay and everything, but, you've got to fight for us. And we're going to take 50% of all your fucking future earnings, but we'll get you off the street. Sort of like, and if the guy's no good, we just put him back on the street, fuck. We fire him. You're done, fuck. Is that politically incorrect? Like, we grab up like 10 homeless dudes and we say, listen, fuck, whatever one is the tough, whatever you guys think you can fight, we'll give you a career here. Yeah, I'm not getting into Greyhounds. That's too sketchy. Come on, I have morals. I'm not pimping out the bum. I'm giving the guy an opportunity. I'm giving him a chance. Lingerie league? I considered the lingerie league. Trust me, Mark B. We were already on it. Lingerie league doesn't make any money. Because TSN sucks. Yeah, Boxcar Willie, fuck. You guys just want to buy a lingerie team because you think you're going to be able to fucking sleep with the players. You won't. Exactly. They make no money. There's no money in fucking lingerie shit. Look, my boy Jazz is an entrepreneur. He's into sports ownership. We've looked into all this stuff, guys. I've been doing this for years. That's the thing. Yeah, like me and Jazz met a coach and an owner and shit in the lingerie league. Like we've got the rundown. You're not making money. That's the thing. Like what fucking level, what low level can we afford? 7-tier England soccer? I don't know. Can we afford that? No, I want to fucking buy a team. You know what? The best, okay, I'm dead serious, all kidding aside here, Canadian Basketball League. Canadian Basketball League. It's a decent league. It's not a joke league. And it gets fans and shit. The CBL. NBL Canada. NBL Canada franchise fee. Let's buy a fucking NBL Canada fucking team. The London Lightning, 3-time champions. Fuck you. We're coming for you. London Lightning? No. The fucking Toronto Tornadoes are taking over this league. It'd be a great press conference. I'd be there. Toronto Tornadoes going to fucking wreck this fucking shit up, man. Go all wrestling. London Lightning, I'm coming for you. Canadian Basketball League franchise fee. All right, so the salary cap is $150,000 a year. So we only need 150 to pay the players. This is, we're off to a reasonable start. Huh. It says it's a fraction of a cost of an NBA franchise. Yeah, well, no shit. An NBA franchise is $2 billion, fuckhead. You can own an NBL team for a fraction of the cost. What does that mean? How much does the fucking team fucking cost? Yeah, salary cap, I know. All right, salary cap is $150,000. How much for the franchise fee? Says you can pay up to one player $70,000. Sounds like a lot of money. But we'd be good at this. We're good gamblers, guys. We know every small college guy and shit. We just fucking offer some kid from the Vermont Catamounts money and shit. You know, like, I'd get involved too, fuck. Recruiting violations, we'll try to, like, you know, hey, kid, fuck. They got teams London Lightning, Moncton Miracles, Oshawa Power, Summerside Storm. They're looking to start up teams in Fredericton, New Brunswick, and Kingston. I like this. $500,000 to $700,000 or so, eh? Interesting. That's a lot of money. Now, Todd Monken can't coach our team. I agree. Not Ontario. We go to fucking the Maritimes, Fredericton, Moncton. There's money there. All right, so what's we have 156 people watching right now or in the chat. So what's 700,000 divided by 150 people? 150,000, $1,000 each. Oh, it's actually $3,000 each. If every guy in the chat right now sent $3,000, we can get a team. Send $3,000 right now. I have to have a net worth of $5 million to be considered an owner. I don't know. That's a little bit of a problem. What, we're expected to actually have money to back this up? Come on. Hey, whoa. Hey, all right, good news. 13-11 right now. Stanford, Eastern Washington are hanging around. Meanwhile, we got a basketball game going on here, 45-43 with the Kansas Jayhawks over the Kentucky Wildcats. We'll keep our eye on this as we take our first break of the evening. And fucking Kansas just doesn't score in a layup, man. Come on. Oh, Nick Vitale in the house, baby. It's unbelievable. Such a great game early in the year.
I love that little weave. You can jump switch up on top. Graham spinning, dishing, and it'll stay with Kansas. Devontae Graham hasn't had the kind of game that you would anticipate for a senior and a leader and a talented player of his ability. But another senior for Kansas, Sviatoslav Mikhailov, the high scorer for the Jayhawks tonight, with 13 in his two-point game.
Goodbyes are never easy. But when you're born to assist, you can't close one door without first opening another.
Man, I don't miss seeing that face every day, Cliff. You're the only one who can get you. Yeah, and this move's been...
Big deal?
Let me show you something. You found me a new State Farm agent? Think of it. That's my last assist. I miss you, man.
What do you want this holiday to smell like? Balsam fir, fresh cinnamon, or for something really special, new car smell? Don't mind if I do.
Ring in the holidays with Buick. Hurry into your Buick dealer and get 17% below MSRP on almost every 2017 sedan model. That's nearly $7,400 on this LaCrosse. Hurry, offer ends November 14th.
There's no one I'd rather hit the road with.
No one I'd rather have dinner and a movie with.
Fuck, I hate these commercials.
I'd rather lean on. Being in love is an amazing thing. Being in love with your best friend is everything. Ever Us. One diamond for your best friend, one for your true love. For the one woman in your life who's both. Ever Us. Available at Kay, Jared, and Zales.
Why is their unlimited data so expensive?
See it all the time.
Who do these guys think they are?
So you're ready to switch.
Switch.
For the family. Switch to Boost and get 5 lines for only $100 per month with unlimited gigs on every line. That's only $20 per line each month for unlimited gigs. All on the fast and reliable Sprint nationwide network. Plus, switch today and get up to 5 free phones.
That way I'll have unlimited data.
Boost makes it easy to switch. Switching makes it easy to save.
Welcome back to Chicago. Time now to check out our assist of the game, brought to you by State Farm. Wow. Take a look right there. Mr. Diallo on the feed for Mr. Green. There it is. Look at that catch. Look at the hang time. Look at the timing. So agile. He is such a terrific athlete. Diallo with a dozen tonight. Knox with 14. Mikhailov leads Kansas with 13. 2-point lead. KU. Let's check in with Murray.
Bill Self telling his team that he wants to see Asabuki getting more touches inside. And it was a really simple message. He's bigger than everybody else, guys. Give him a look right now.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good formula for that area. Thank you very much, because he's been able to get to the line, not necessarily convert, but get to the line. There's a turnover by Kansas on an inbounds play. Miscommunication between Graham and...
How the fuck do you turn the ball over coming out of a fucking timeout? Fuck.
Well, you know, guys also, we're talking about the middle of November. I mean, these guys have not been in the gym that often together, playing a game situation, playing against this kind of caliber both in terms, a lot of talent. Sloppy play. Yeah, a lot of turnovers here in the last few minutes. Execution efficiency is really not there. Big step back jumper. I got to make some of those shots. That's their strength. Kansas' strength is shooting the basketball with their quartet of people on the perimeter. Whether it be Newman, whether it be Graham, whether it be Kylo, or something like that. Diallo draws the foul on Newman. There's no doubt about it. Newman's got to play better defense if he wants to play in that Kansas uniform. I mean, he was not in a good defensive stance. He bumped the guy. Kyler back into the game and out for Kansas, and Richards back in for Kentucky. You get the feeling Bill Self feels he's going to get more out of Newman you're talking about than he's getting right now. He's still getting acclimated. He's so talented. In high school, he was as good as it gets. Jarrett Howard, one of the assistants for Kansas, recruited him hard, but he decided to stay home, go to Mississippi State. But once he decided to transfer, quickly reconnected with Howard and decided to come to Lawrence. Shot bucket two. Kentucky wanted him also. Wow. Soft rim, soft touch for Gilgeous Alexander. I think he's got a lot more PJ playing time. I really do. He's got that size. I think we're going to see Kentucky this year utilize that 2-3 zone with those two big guards. Right now, he wants them to have accountability. But Kyler a little bit short. Rebound, Kentucky with a chance to tie or take the lead. We got a foul going against Kansas to be stopped to the action. A reminder that tomorrow night on ESPN, got an NBA doubleheader coming your way. LeBron and the Cavs taking on the Hornets in the early game at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And then the Sixers, led by former Jayhawk Joel Embiid, they take down the Lakers in game 2. Wow, he was unbelievable last night. He had like 32 and I think something like 14. Terrific talent. He just got to stay away from the injury. The Cavaliers, they cannot win unless they get Isaiah Thomas to give them the kind of scoring that Irving gave them last year to help out LeBron. LeBron can't do almost score by himself. Richards with a bad pass. Oh, that's a good cover. That's a good pass right there. Man, that's a good pass. A Tom Brady pass to Gronkowski. Oh, there's a little battle going on. Ball never touched the floor for Kansas. I'll tell you what, he keeps the run in transition. That's a foul. That's a foul. That's a foul. He looks at us. He's trying to get a little sympathy. Yeah, no sympathy, Devontae. How about this pass by LeGerald Vick? Can he play football? Tom Brady, baby. There it is. The buck. Might have taken an extra step. He'll get away with that in the NBA. He got away with one here. I'll tell you, yeah. He got away with one. Pretty good for a guy with one eye. I can see that. Richards just took too long to start making his move, and that's another Kentucky turnover. John Calipari is going to earn that big check he's getting. And it is big. It is big. Way bigger than it was at Massachusetts. He makes more in a month than he made there in 3 years. 15 turnovers, and he's bringing in 3 subs. He's not happy with what he's seeing from his young cats. Wow. Finish. Oh, timeout. Get a TO, Mr. Calipari. Get a TO. He didn't like what he's seen here in a 2-man game. A 2-man game. Oh, great execution like that, man.
When I'm with you, the rest of the world fades away. So I got you something that stands out as beautifully as you do.
Le'Veon at Jared. Only Jared has more exclusive Le'Veon pieces than any other jewelry store in the world. And now, visit Jared.com for $100 off any Le'Veon purchase. The one gift as unique as she is. That's why he went to Jared.
This is the inaugural PK80. An exciting new tournament featuring 16 top-tier teams
All kinds of stars.
to celebrate a legend. The PK80 presented by State Farm. Tips Thursday, November 23rd at 2:30 on ESPN.
In-game total 134.5. 130 motherfucking 4.5. It's dead. We're done. Wow. But we're on Kansas as well. Kansas minus 6.5 right now in game. Edmonton Oilers. I like the Oilers tonight in reg. Cam Stewart liked the Oilers in reg. I should have tailed that against the Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas can't win every motherfucking game. They're losing 8-2. They're getting drilled tonight. This could be the beginning of a little bit of a skid. Been waiting for a time to really, like, they stumbled on the road, but they competed. You know, Vegas can't keep this up. They're so beaten down. There's so many injuries. 2-0 for the LA Kings after 20 minutes of play. We've got good news if you jumped on Eastern Washington with us. Eastern Washington's winning 22-17 outright. We're getting 16.5. So we'll keep our eye on that game as well. See the Golden Knights. Golden Knights, they're losing 8-2 right now. They're in Vancouver on Thursday. The LA Kings are in Vegas on Sunday. They have a bunch of tough games coming up. Kings, Ducks, Sharks. I would expect them to lose on that little chunk here this weekend. You know, we'll keep our eye on the Canuck game as well, but I'm looking at Friday night. The Kings beat them again. You know, the Ducks beat them. The Sharks beat them. I think this is where it starts to get a little bit realer. But Vegas are decent. They're a scrappy team. They have a lot of fast dudes. They skate well. They're in your face. Kentucky are in the bonus. Kentucky are in the bonus right now. It's weird. These teams have been in the bonus all fucking night, and it doesn't matter. Like, they turn the ball over so much. Very frustrating basketball game. I laid 5 points, too. I don't like laying points in these games. Kentucky's hanging around. You know, Kansas is an experienced team. You should be able to pull away from these fucking kids. What's your problem, man? Really upsetting me now. You know, we've had a nice night of wins here. I want to end this with some wins. In-game total, 132. Jeez. I don't want to keep losing on this game, though. Like, I have the over 150, and I have Kansas -5. I'm trying to get a little bit more disciplined and not get stupid and chase stuff here, but let's watch this game, see how it plays out. We'll keep our eye on this Stanford game and get a halftime number in here. I didn't even know Perfect Circle were playing tomorrow, Kyle. I'm a big I like Perfect Circle too. I didn't even know Perfect Circle were playing. Strange developments out of Florida here, in which the Marlins want to trade Stanton, Giancarlo Stanton. He's owed like $300 million on his deal. The Marlins with Jeter starting over. See, Jeter can afford a baseball team. We can't. So the St. Louis Cardinals and the Boston Red Sox were both they both wanted to get Stanton. They both said, "Yeah, we'll pay, no problem. What do you want for him?" And reports are that Stanton is refusing to go to the Boston Red Sox or the St. Louis Cardinals. And for one reason or another, the report states that Stanton doesn't have a problem with being traded to, of all places, the San Francisco fucking Giants. Fuck. Reports are the Giants and Marlins are in talks right now. Yet it's a complicated contract and a complicated deal, obviously. And you got to believe other teams will swoop in now knowing that, all right, the Red Sox are out. If you're the Yankees, why wouldn't you do this? Like if I was the New York Yankees, you stack a lineup together with Sanchez, Judge, and Stanton. That's a fucking load to deal with. And you have money. Money's not an object. You know, if I was the New York Yankees, I'd be all in on this. I don't know where Stanton wants to go. I find it strange that he'll go to San Francisco, but he won't go to Boston or St. Louis. But I guess, you know, the Red Sox don't have the best reputation. The city of Boston doesn't have the best reputation. Boston's a great sports town, but it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. And, you know, the Cardinals, great baseball city. Yet, over the last couple of years, I think some of the shine has been taken off the Cardinals a little bit. Yet it surprises me to see the San Francisco Giants in talks. Yet San Francisco have money as well. Next year, baseball is going to be insane with all the free agents. You know, basically, I was going to state that, you know, Boston and St. Louis are kind of the places where brothers aren't really in a hurry to go to, and Dominican guys, etc. Stanton, Colorado doesn't have that type of money. Colorado's already loaded. Colorado doesn't want to pay Arenado. Arenado is going to be gone next year. What's up with Kansas? They're fucking Kansas. That's what's up with Kansas. Fuck. Every fucking year, Bill Self is fucking loaded, man, and he should be winning this game by 8. Fuck. There you go. There's an N1. And will not count. They got to change that with college basketball. In the NBA, that counts. Like, basically, he got fouled, and he, you know, in the same time he was going up for the shot. Let's see. That should count. That should be a deuce. Like, you guys got to change that rule. You know, scoring is a problem in college basketball as it is. You know, you need, you know, if a guy gets hit and he in all in one motion, he makes the play, give him the fucking basket. And the problem is these college kids will fuck this shit up. We'll see if this kid can hit the free throws. No, of course he missed. He didn't just miss. He fucking bricked it. How fucking hard is it to hit a fucking shot from 10 fucking feet, man? Well, there's Kentucky hits a fucking shot. Now we're tied. This is just fucking great. This bullshit, man. Fucking Kansas. I'll take overtime if we can get overtime, but you know we won't. We'll get screwed over somehow. 53-51, 6.5 left. Now they're scoring at will, both teams. Little too late. I'd rather just have Kansas score at this fucking point. Like, our total's dead. I want Kansas to cover the 5. How's that not a foul? Fuck. Now it's like a score fest. Both of them, it's like, all right, no problem. Now, the Raptors, Damo, the Raptors shouldn't be posting, Young Jeezy, the Raptors shouldn't be posting that shit. I hate that stuff. A fucking team in their Twitter accounts. Donaldson. Muhammad Jamba asked why Boston. Well, Boston's Boston, dude. Boston has a reputation of being a racist sports city. You know, and the Boston Red Sox fucking they bad talk everyone on the way out. And same with St. Louis. St. Louis fans are racist. You know, they just are. They're polite though, right? So it's like, oh, they're such great fans, but there's an undertone of racism there big time. Like, let's be real. Like, there's not... How many black guys are on the St. Louis Cardinals right now? Do they have one? like 2? Exactly. Like Jerry Rice, they used to hire a fucking private investigator to follow black players on the Red Sox and shit. Like the Red Sox organization is not it doesn't have the best reputation. Like let's put this in context. Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier in 1948. He broke the color barrier in 1948. The Boston Red Sox didn't have a black player until 1969. Think about that. $1969. They went 20 fucking years after Jackie Robinson played his first game before they said, you know what? Like, how do you know, that was by coincidence, I guess. I guess there wasn't one good black guy or one good fucking Cuban or one good Hispanic. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to erase that. Like that's a history. That's a history that's kind of, you know, hard to erase. There were numerous racist incidents at Red Sox games this year, for fuck's sakes. Oh, I know. Boston, Democratic, fuck. The most racist city in the fucking league. The Boston Bruin fans are racist. The Red Sox fans, let's just be real. And I'm not saying everybody from Boston is bad, because I know some good people from Boston, but as a whole, their fans are fucking dicks. Like, you notice, like, you know, it's always something. And so, well, you can't blanket all of us. It's like, yeah, but it seems this shit happen in your fucking city all the time. Well, Mark Rick just won a big game this past Saturday. Yeah, exactly. Like the radio hosts say, oh, no, Adam Jones is lying. The radio hosts say that Roy Halladay deserved to die. PK Subban. You go down the list, man. It's constant. I'm really starting to hate Kansas. I really am. These guys have fucked me for fucking years, and I always fucking believe in them. $57-57 right now. We're not going to get the 5. All right, let's jump in on the Kings and the Canucks under 6.5. Kings and Canucks under 6.5 in game right now. It's 2-1. Vancouver just scored. I got the game on here too, so suddenly we got some new action on hockey. Oh, and they nearly just scored. That would have been my luck. Just after I take it. Just clear the fucking puck, man. Why is it so hard to get the puck out of your zone? Like, I never understand this when I watch hockey. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this shit. Fucking how hard is that? You have a fucking stick. Fuck, use it. You know, it's not simple. It's not complicated, guys. You put your stick on the puck and you move it forward, and the puck will leave your end of the rink. These fucking players in the NHL, man. Like, I've never understood this. Is the one thing that's baffled me the most about modern defensemen. How fucking hard is it? All you dickheads can all shoot the puck 108 miles an hour from the blue line. Yeah, none of you fucksticks can just flick it out of your own fucking end. Like, I don't understand. I don't like betting on this fucking shit. I gotta tell you, like this game right now. I did a poll question last night on Twitter, and I asked, "What's the most exciting and entertaining major professional sport?" We got 1,000 votes, a lot of votes, and 45% of people said the NHL. And you can't argue. Like, look, I watched a little college football tonight. I watched NBA. We're watching this shitty college game right now. And I just put this hockey game on. It's fucking intense, this shit. Like, they're going back and forth at a high speed. They're hitting each other. And, like, there's no whistles. This is a great hockey little sequence here. It's fucking stressful, though, betting on the under. It's just constant scoring opportunities. Fuck. But what I like about this is the fucking clock is ticking. There hasn't been whistles. Here come the Kings, though. Oh, fuck, that's a penalty. You're a fucking idiot. What are you looking at the ref for? Fuck, you fucking tripped the guy. That's a penalty. What do you want? That's a penalty, dude. Fucking sweat jobs. Oh, great. Kentucky's winning now by 1. Isn't that nice? You can really go fuck yourself. Seriously, I fucking hate Kansas, man. You guys fucking suck. You guys really suck, man. You can't beat a bunch of fucking punk-ass fucking kids playing their 3rd fucking college game. You're no better than Utah Valley. Same bullshit with Kansas all the fucking time, man. How hard is this? You're under the basket. 3 for Kansas. Hits it. Good. Let's go, Kansas. Fuck, man.
Figure out who's our go-to guys and who's going to be on the floor when the game's on the line.
John Calipari's got to be going crazy that Vic got his own mismatch and kicked it out.
What do they do with the score here? ESPN's wrong. They got the score wrong. Or they were slow with their change or whatever. Kansas up by 4 now. You guys notice that? Confusing. Kansas up by 4 now. I know, the score's confusing, Johnny Kicknuts. I swear to God, they just hit the 3, and I'm like, they're not up by 4. ESPN is dropping the ball. They fucked up the ticker. Oh, and fucking Vancouver scores on a power play. The total won't change, though. It's not going to go to 7.5. They don't like doing 7.5. And we'll be all right if this shit just slows. If we can get out of this period without scoring again, we'll be all right. But that fucking penalty, man. Oh, and Kentucky scores 61-59. Son of a bitch. Fuck, we got up by 4. 2-point game. Kansas with the basketball, $1:40 left. Horrible shot, fuck. Fading away right inside the 3-point line. Great shot, fucking kid. Stupid idiot. What are you doing? That was a horrible shot. You're up by, really, kid. It's stupid. Kentucky's running out of time to shoot here.
The shot is no good by Gilgeous Alexander.
1 minute left. We have the basketball. We're up 2. Get the fucking basket here. Score the basket. Get up by 4, and then we can maybe hit the free throws. You need a score here, baby. Come on, man. You need a score here.
Want to shoot. And it is Kentucky ball. Washington got a piece of it.
Are you fucking kidding me, Kansas? You can't. You're supposed to be an experienced team. You can't even get a fucking shot off.
And here's what maybe they don't even know about themselves, much less we don't know about them. Crunch time. Who's the GOAT? What's the GOAT play?
It's got to be no.
What are you looking for? Drive, a shot. What do you want?
Well, why don't we move without the ball a little bit if you can, but he can make that 15-foot shot.
I think the officials are going to the clock to see exactly how much time should be left on the clock after the shot.
Fucking Kansas, man. You're an experienced team. This last minute, you're supposed to be pulling away. Yeah, you learn about your fucking team. They fucking suck.
Dead on at 33-6 when it went to 0, but the officials are having a look. They want to get it exact.
Yeah, I want to make sure. Coming down the wire now. That's what the replay's there for. Right.
It's 33-27 for Eastern Washington at the half. We're getting 16.5 here, so we're looking good in that game. So they've scored 60 points. Second half total is 81, pretty high. Stanford are minus 11.5. Stanford are minus 11.5. So they need to win the second half by 12. So they need to win the game by 6. I'd like to push the envelope here, like always, and take Eastern Washington again, but we're not really getting a ton of value here, are we? 61-59. Whatever you're going to do, Kentucky, do it quickly here, please. Get the ball, get the ball. Go, go. Foul him, foul him. Fuck. I was going to fucking take, you know, Kansas were minus 220 on the money line. I don't like laying 5 because I always get screwed when I lay points. I'm about to get screwed. But whatever. I didn't want to lay 220 on the fucking money line. I just should have. Whatever. If we can hit these 2 free throws, get up by 4. I don't really count on this kid hitting both free throws, though. Oh. Rattled in. It was a bad shot, man. It fucking rolled around and went in. Oh, he hits the second one. 4 points, 16. All right, shoot, hurry up and miss and foul. Fuck. Fuck, man. Just get the fucking rebound, for fuck's sake. That's the game. We get the rebound there. We at least get a push. Kid on Kentucky. Nobody on, you know, Kansas. Maybe somebody on Kansas should have jumped. There's 3 kids on Kansas. Not one of them jumped. Seriously. They all stood there while the fucking kid on Kentucky flew in and grabbed it. 63-61. 8 seconds remaining. So they're going to have to foul him immediately. We'll get the free throws. There's 8 seconds left. Kentucky runs down the court. You know, it's not impossible, but it's, you know. Man, it's just scoring chance after scoring chance in his hockey game. So yeah, Eastern Washington plus 11.5, 81 second half here. I'm surprised. Right now, the 6.5 is plus 150 in this hockey game. They got a minus 180 over 6.5. I'm surprised about that.
In the game right now. That's coaching. People wonder what coaches do. And it's great. So they get it to the guy they want to get it to. And he's got that stuff. I like the way he's walking to the free throw line. Confidence.
All right. 63-61, 7.1 seconds. Military coup in Zimbabwe. That's impossible. There's never military coups in Africa. Dick Vitale likes the free throw.
No timeouts for Kentucky. Kentucky's going to win a lot of games. I'm telling you, this team has got a lot of athletes, toughness. They're just going to work on shooting.
We're up by 4 with 7 seconds left. Hurry up and foul. Miss and foul.
Alexander forces up a 3, and Kansas will win it.
And we lose by a point. And we lose by a fucking point, man. Fuck me. Every fucking night we lose by a fucking point. Every fucking night. Every night. Oh, now it's a fucking penalty shot in the fucking hockey game. Great 1-2 combo here. All right, save. You know, if I would have bet it earlier today at the 4.5, I would have bought a half point and bought it to 4, but it was an even 5, so I kept it at 5. Nice save by Jonathan Quick. One of those deals where if we had one of those deals, I can't load up on the Canucks. It's a toss-up. They're plus 145, the Canucks. Not bad value, I'll give you that. They did just miss a penalty shot. It's one of those deals where we got screwed by, like, literally milliseconds. If there's like 0.3 more seconds left on the clock, we're going to the free throw line. At the end of these basketball games, the ball bounces and we were just fucked. Like, the kid on Kentucky was too far from the kid on Kansas when he got the ball. And the kid on Kentucky didn't shoot fast enough. He ran down the court and instead of just shooting, he ran down the court and then took a left turn. And that ate up another, like, fucking second or so. Because the kid on Kentucky tried to foul. He lunged at the guy, and he fouled him right as the game ended. You know what I mean? Like, I'd like to see the replay and see if he touched him, but I think it was, like, simultaneous kind of. It was a little too late. Like, I'm not complaining about it. It's one of those deals where he was a little too far, but it's fucking frustrating, man. A good night, just fucking pissed away. Again. Frustrating. You guys see it every night. I lose by 1 point. Every night. It's fucking uncanny. I'm not a lucky person. It's just as simple as that. Some people have luck. I don't get breaks. I don't get breaks when it comes to betting. I'm not talking about overall in life. I'm not bad luck in life, but with gambling, I get fucking screwed, like, continuously by half points, 1 points. Like, my losses are rarely blowouts. Like, they're always, every night you see, man. Every night it's like 1 point, 1 point, 1 point. The second half has started. Eastern Washington and Stanford couldn't get in even if we wanted to. Eastern Washington's up by 4. We're getting 16.5. Stanford will probably come back, and hopefully we can hang on for the cover here. Fuck, that's frustrating. I hate fucking losing at fucking night, man. I hate losing these fucking late games. And if you're wondering, no, the Breakers don't play. All right? The Breakers don't play till Saturday night. There's nothing going on now. You got there's some esports. There's some esports. You got badminton, esports, and NHL hockey. The Mexican baseball game is coming to an end. They're in the 8th inning already. There's not much to do there. So essentially, you got a hockey game right now. Two in the hockey game. LA Kings minus 175. Vancouver Canucks plus 145. Over under 6.5. Minus 150 to the over. Of course, I grabbed the fucking under 6.5 when it was 2-1, and then like 2 minutes later, fucking stupid fuckhead on the Kings tripped the dude, and they scored on the power play right away. There's 4 minutes left in this period. Goals often happen early in periods and late in periods. If we can get out of this period here at 2-2, this 6 is looking okay. I like the Texans +7. I can't. Yeah, it's frustrating, Eric Leduc. I know. I'm hosting a show, Matt H. Why would I listen to Scotty Farrell right now? Do you want, I like Scotty Farrell, but yeah, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna sit here and listen to the Scotty Farrell show right now. I don't know who's going to win the game. I'm on the under 6.5. HTC and Ramadan eating Whoppers. All right, Bobbert says Judd Trump. I didn't know Donnie had a brother. Snooker. I'll tell you what. Watching this game, Vancouver are getting more scoring on. Like Vancouver all over him right now. They said I hate the last fucking 2 minutes of periods in hockey. No, my eyes are my shot, HTC. And the brightness of these computers hurt my eyes. Yeah, I think the under 6.5, that's what I've got, so I'm hanging on. It's crazy, though. The under 6.5, I took it. It was -130 when it was 2-1. Right after they scored, they never put a 7.5 up. They made it 6.5, but -180 to the over. And now it's all the way back down to 6.5, -115 again. The key is, though, we got to get out of this fucking period without giving up a goal. It changes the dynamic of the total enormously, this. Like, we've got to get out of this fucking period without scoring. And here come the Canucks. Holy motherfuck, that came close to going in. I don't know what it is with the final minute of periods, man, but it's so frustrating. Here they come again. Fuck. Oh, it's offside. Fuck. Betting on basketball is stressful, but not to the last minute. Hockey's just constant stress. Duh, 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 duh. Oh, there's a penalty coming up. Oh, we're fucked. Fucking Kansas, man. God, does Kansas ever piss me off? Like they really do. Fuck, I hate that fucking team. I really do just hate that fucking team. Should have just pounded the fucking Raptors money line tonight. I knew they were going to win this game. All right, we got a full slate of NBA basketball tomorrow. Sacramento, Atlanta. Atlanta -3.5. Utah Jazz against the New York Knicks. Knicks -4. Wizards +1 at the Heat. Cavaliers -1.5 against the Charlotte Hornets. Detroit Pistons +3.5 at the Milwaukee Bucks. Seems a little low. Pacers and Grizzlies. Grizz -4.5. Late night tomorrow night. Philadelphia 76ers against the LA Lakers. Sixers -3. Ben Simmons versus Lonzo Ball. We know who's going to win that matchup. Portland Trailblazers lay 5 to Orlando. Me and Big Man on Campus did a video earlier today. It's on the Fantasy Sports Network YouTube page. We talked about the Seton Hall game tomorrow night. Seton Hall in Indiana. And I was surprised to see the number here. I thought Seton Hall would be 4 or 5, maybe 6-point favorites. Seton Hall, 13-point favorites. Seton Hall are 13-point favorites against Indiana tomorrow. We got out of the period without giving up another goal, but unfortunately the third period is going to start with 1 minute and 2 seconds of power play time for the LA Kings. Montana got it done against Pitt. They're staying in Pennsylvania. They play against Penn State. They're getting 12. Yeah, our boys Riverside. Remember the other night we cashed with Riverside against Cal. They're +4 at Marymount. Nevada -5.5 against Santa Clara. And right now, as we speak, 42-35 for Eastern Washington. So our +16.5 is looking good. Be nice to, get this win. I wasn't really planning on betting this game. I sort of was in the back of my mind, knowing it was the last game of the night. But we just lost on the Kansas game and shit, and the over the Kansas game. So it'd be nice to get this on the way out. Fuck, that was fucking frustrating, man. Tate 08. Are you the one, Tate 08, that was telling us to bet the farm on the Canucks and you thought the game was in the third period? I know, Didier. I know Indiana lost. They lost to Indiana State, and then they barely beat Howard. But still, 13 points for Seton Hall is a lot of points to lay in this spot. All right, so we're gonna take a last break. We'll come back with some closing thoughts and stuff. Normally we go a little bit later, but like I said, I've got to do a podcast for you, Wager. Yeah, Travis Green's doing a great job with the Canucks. I can't disagree. It'd be nice one night just to sail all the way through this shit. What's this about Daniel Negreanu? Daniel Negreanu, I think the guy owes me money, doesn't he? He said he was going to fade me. He said he was going to fade me on that Bronco-Patriot game on national television. That's the thing with that guy. He talked shit on TV to me, but after, when he was wrong and I was right, he didn't say shit after. Yeah, no shit, he's got the money. I was on a TV show with Daniel Negreanu, and the host of the TV show asked me, who do I like in the NFL this weekend? And I said to him, ironically, it was like last week. It wasn't this game this year. This happened 2 years ago when Brock Osweiler was there. And it was a Sunday night game. And I said the Denver Broncos will beat Tom Brady and the Patriots outright. And the host said, fuck, what are you, you're crazy. And Negreanu's like, I'll fade that pick all fucking day. And it's like, I'll fade that pick. James Woods a big loser. Daniel Negreanu. Oh. Oh, so Daniel Negreanu. So Daniel Negreanu is not supporting fucking this stuff. Daniel Negreanu is calling out James Woods and the psycho fucking right fucking that, I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to unfollow people. Like I saw today on my Twitter timeline, people like hashtag I stand with Roy Moore. And I'm thinking, who the fuck stands with Roy Moore? Fuck. And I'm like, why is this on my fucking Twitter timeline? I don't stand with Roy Moore. I don't want to see this shit. And I'm like, I don't follow these fucking nut jobs. But it's people that follow me and I follow people back and they retweet this shit. And then I get it in my timeline. And I don't want to be associated with that stuff at all. So, yeah, if you're, if you follow me on Twitter and you're retweeting, I stand with Roy Moore and this shit, I'm going to unfollow because I don't want to see that shit. Like, is it just me too? Like, I get it. Like, people are into their politics and shit for some reason, right? So they're really into this fucking, right and left and Republican and Democrat shit. But the guy, it fucking groped teenage girls. It shouldn't matter what political party you're involved with or who you support. Like you saying that Roy Moore is a scumbag who probably should be in jail. Roy Moore, you should look at this guy's track record. He lets rapists off all the time and says, to the victim, you probably enjoyed it and shit. The guy's a menace to society. And the fact that people will stand up and defend this guy for the sake of somehow defending Trump, when Trump didn't even fucking support the fucking dude in the first place, is beyond pathetic. Is beyond pathetic. Like, I don't care what party you're in. I don't care. I don't like Hillary Clinton. I don't like Hillary Clinton. I don't like the Democrats. I don't have to like the Democrats to tell you that Roy Moore is a scumbag. These accusations are true. The guy was barred. How many people, have you ever signed a high school girl's yearbook? I haven't. I don't even know where a high school is. Seriously. I've lived in this neighborhood for fucking nearly 3 years. I don't even know where the school is. I have no idea. Where's the high school around here? If someone asked me, where's the nearest high school? I'd be like, I don't know, man. Maybe like fucking that way around Jameson Street. I don't know. I have no idea. Yet Roy Moore signing high school yearbooks. Fuck. Guy's 32 years old. How do you know teenage girls when you're 32 years old? I had a hot fucking chick that was 20 that wanted to do me, and I didn't do her because I thought she looked too much like a kid. She was a short, hot chick, and I was like, man, I can't do this. Fuck. And she's, you know, I can't do this. Like, you know, I can't do a fucking 20-year-old, and you're fucking, you know. It's unbelievable. It's really, it's unbelievable, this stuff. Negreanu's from the Toronto area here. There's no, from what I know, I got no problem with Negreanu. You know, so he busted my balls on TV. I bust people's balls all the time. Yeah, like if you guys thought I was just stating that he said he was going to fade me and we were going to bet. And then after, you know, he didn't fucking give me too much credit for it after. But no, I know people that know Negreanu, and they told me, look, I was on a TV show with Negreanu. I don't know him personally, but I was just a guest on a TV show with him. And people that know Negreanu told me, they're like, yeah, the guy was a pool shark. Daniel Negreanu can play pool. He was actually a pool shark in Toronto. And I guess he did get into a little trouble hustling people because he would play the goofy white guy angle and then he'd fucking kick your ass. So I guess, like, you know, he's legendary in the pool circuit here and the billiards. So yeah, like Negreanu's not some big fraud or something. Like, the guy's a hustling gambler, right? I mean, he was a pool shark, and supposedly he was smart with money. Like, he knew how to fucking double up bets and shit like that. Good money management. Like, Negreanu grew up in pool halls. I don't know if he worked there as a kid, but whatever. Like, Negreanu's rep was born in Toronto pool halls as like a teenager, young adult. And basically, you know, it became known that, yeah, this kid, he'll fucking beat you down. Like, don't play him anymore. So I guess he took a lot of people for money. I think the deal is, once he fucking, right out of the movie type thing, I think once he bet that he had money he didn't have type shit. But whatever, you know, who hasn't done stupid shit? So... But yeah, like I said, I respect Negreanu's story. I mean, how do I not respect a fucking kid from the streets who fucking was a pool shark who became a big poker star? You know, I don't like poker and I don't like poker people, but I got no problem with Negreanu. It is true, JSS. The fantasy scene reminds me a lot of the poker stuff. A lot of same type of characters around. And you're right. Like DraftKings was poker guys. The poker guys are smart though. Like the guys that own the poker shit, they found a way around the gambling stuff. It was basically gambling. Like they're smart people. But I'll tell you, every poker guy I've ever been around has been a sleazeball. I did work for I did a poker show before. They were the biggest scumbags. Like, just everyone in the poker industry is fucking sleazy. Fuck. It's like my buddy Cam Stewart says. He goes, you know, poker players are trying to fucking beat you and take your money. You know, like, you know, at least when you're betting on sports, we're trying to beat the book. Poker players are snakes. They beat each other, right? But I'm talking about the pro poker scene and stuff. It's pretty sleazy. Yeah, I played FanDuel. I played DraftKings tonight. Let's see how I did. You know, you want to make money in DraftKings, the way to do it is in the double ups. The way to do it is in the double ups. I actually talked to a fucking esport, DFS, sort of poker, new school guy. He's won $1 million twice with DraftKings. He's won $2 million. He won $1 million on basketball twice. Oh, sorry, he won $1 million on esport and he won $1 million on basketball. I was with the guy in New York City last week, and I had drinks, and I asked him. I basically stated, because he was telling me like because I asked him, how'd you make all your money? And he goes, basically fantasy and DFS and esport. And the guy created an esport algorithm program that I guess makes a shitload of fucking money. I'm going to get it. We'll share it with you guys. Like, he basically told me point blank. He goes, you don't have to know anything about esports. He goes, just get this program. And, you know, he basically stated, you know, you can make $100,000 like easy. And the guy's successful enough that he just bought part of my fucking television network. He's one of my new boss. So, like, this guy's he's won $2 million checks 2 separate times. And he was telling me that the way to go is fucking double up. Like, that's what the pros do. And it's a good deal, because when you play in these DraftKings tournaments, you're playing against 400,000 people and shit. It's fucking impossible to win. You know, and like, I was with a guy at the football game, another guy, Benny Ricciardi, legendary DFS guy. And I asked him, we were drinking in a parking lot. I said, how many fucking lineups do you have anyways? And he goes, 500. I said, you have 500 lineups on a Sunday? He goes, yeah, that's the max. So I have 500. I mean, you know, I don't have time to do 500 lineups. Like, I don't have the money to do 500. You know what I mean? It's these guys look at it like gambling. They're all in, right? So it's like, he knows that he's better than you, so he's going to go 500 fucking times. But even he was telling me, you know, they all said the same thing to me. They said, Morency, they said, I see you're pretty good. They said, you're not going to win the tournaments. It's fucking, you know, whatever. They said, double up, play the double ups. And at DraftKings, so the double up is, I played a double up tonight. There was 4,000 people in it. So you come in the top 2,000, you double your money. So instead of winning the tournament, you just have to be in the top 50 percentile, and you get double your money back. You get double your money back. So that's my little tip to you, my word of advice. And tonight I played 4,000 people. I needed to be in the top 2,000. I finished in 1,550th place. So look, my lineup was only 1,500 fucking place out of 4,000 people, but I doubled my money. There were fucking 1,500, there were 1,400 or 1,549 people better than me in this tournament tonight. But I doubled my money because I was better than 2,500 people. That's the way to play DraftKings. What was the lineup? The lineup was James Harden. James Harden, 62 DK points. DeMar DeRozan, 42 DK points. CJ Miles, 32. He was only $3,100. Fuck. That's 10 times your value. When you're playing DraftKings, we don't talk much fantasy here, but we should, because DraftKings is basically betting, right? It's not really fantasy. It's betting. So, but basically when you play DraftKings, you need to get 5 times your value back for points. So like if a guy is $7,000, he better get you 35 points. And that's just the bare minimum. You know, you talk about upside, you want upside. So the key to winning this shit is Vancouver just scored 3-2. The key to finding this shit is finding a player that's cheap that's going to give you good upside. So like tonight, a good example, like it tells you how many people owned each player. So only 26% of the people played tonight owned CJ Miles. I did. CJ Miles was $3,100. He got 32 DraftKings points. That's 10 times. You know, that's why I won. That's good. That's good drafting. You know what I mean? I got 10 times the value for my money there. So I had James Harden 62, DeMar DeRozan 42, CJ Miles 32, OG Anunoby 23.5, Clint Capella 31.5, Spencer Dinwiddie 35.5. Spencer Dinwiddie was a good play, starting point guard now for the Nets with Russell out. Damari Carroll 19.5, and Dennis Smith Jr. 37. That's a pretty good lineup. Like, I didn't really have too many misses or failures in this. Like, Damari Carroll got me 5 times my value. I'd say, you know, Dennis Smith was a little disappointing. I would have hoped for more from Dennis Smith, but I'm pretty good at this NBA DFS shit. But the problem with NBA DFS is it takes time. And I don't have a lot of time, you know. Today I had a great NBA DFS guy on, Nick Whalen. This guy's fucking won millions too. So I had this great DFS guy on today. So I sort of had and I knew where to go type thing, but he was kind of stingy with giving me the real secret players. I was like, come on, man, who's the cheap guy we should take? He was like, well, you know, CJ Miles. And he was right with CJ Miles. I like CJ already. Basically, when DraftKings, you look for injuries, you look for replacement players. You got to follow the injury list. You get guys that, you know, that are injured, star players that are injured, and guys that will replace them. Like Norman Powell was out, so CJ Miles got more playing time. You got to look for shit like that. And also, just, it's not rocket science. Basically, like, look, I stacked the Raptors game and the Rockets game with players because I knew that game would be higher scoring than the other games, right? So, yeah, anyways, so to wrap this shit up, James Woods is accused of sexually harassing actress Elizabeth Perkins. Here's Amber Tamblyn, actress. James Woods tried to pick me up and my friend in a restaurant once. He said he wanted to take us to Vegas. I said, I'm 16. He said, even better. James Woods is denying it. Negreanu says James Woods is a scumbag. That's why Negreanu's in the news. Funny, I don't hear James Woods threatening a lawsuit. He's just saying that's not true. It's like Roy Moore. Roy Moore's like, I'm going to sue all these ladies. He's like, no, you're not. You never did. You just said that publicly because you know it's true and you're not going to sue them. But whatever. It's not like James Woods. Does James Woods even work now anyways? Fuck, the guy just seems to tweet stupid shit all day. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to get out of here, but I don't understand people who want to go down swinging with the fucking ship here with a bunch of fucking pedophile perverts, like whether they're fucking Democrats or Republicans. What's this? You guys talking about Diaz versus Woodley? Yeah, that's not official. Woodley would fucking kill Diaz. Woodley would kill either Diaz. I like the Diaz boys, but Tyron Woodley's on another level. There's something that flew under the radar, too. Bellator signed Jack Swagger. WWE wrestler Jack Swagger signs to fight in the heavyweight division in Bellator. If you're wondering about Jack Swagger's fighting experience, he was a wrestler at the University of Oklahoma. He set a school record for most pins in a season with 30. But instead of getting into MMA, out of college, he was thinking about it. But instead of getting into MMA, he signed a deal with the WWE. So this is something I've wanted to do for a long time. It's been part of me. It makes sense. I'm happy with the deal I made. I felt a lot of love from Bellator. I think there's certain types of people who need to get punched in the face and taste blood. I've always been a big fan of MMA. I've been wrestling since I was 5 years old. It's awesome to be in Bellator. I'm going to put 100% towards this. I don't have a problem with this. It's not like the CM Punk shit where they're making a big deal about it. If Jack Swagger wants to fight, he wants to fight. And I'm fucking pissed that I was running my mouth that I didn't bet on the 11.5 in the second half. Eastern Washington are about to win is fucking outright 16.5-point favorites. 59-49 with 2 minutes left. Fuck me. Raptors money line, Akron money line, this money line. We got to take money lines, guys. Fuck, man. If we think the team can cover, they must have a chance to win the game. And if we're only betting on a team because we think, oh, they can't win, but they might cover, then it's a bad bet. And with that, we'll wrap it up. Thanks for the support, guys. Give us a thumbs up if you can. If you haven't already, on the way out, make sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review social media platforms. Let's hopefully we can cry this game home. 11 minutes left right now. 11 minutes left. Vancouver Canucks are leading 3-2. We're on the under 6.5. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Other than that, you're on your own. May the winners be yours.